Good morning from Gangneung, Korea, host city for the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018. Wednesday morning in Gangneung, commuters making their way to work. Some delicacies await. It's a bit early for a lunchtime snack, but vendors are getting ready, and we're getting ready as well at the venue, the Gangneung Curling Center, the Olympic venue for our feature match. Korea takes on New Zealand. Moving inside the venue now. Those familiar teal-blue 12-foot circles reminding us of the Olympics that were held here in February. Competitors preparing for the match. Let's meet the teams. Here's Team Korea at lead. Lee Gangneung. Hwang Hyun-jun is at second. Lee Jong-jae is at third. Skip Kim So-hyuk. They take on New Zealand. At lead, Warren Dobson. Anton Hood is playing at second. Simon Nielsen is at third. And the skip, Scott Becker. Very important game for both of these teams. We're nearing the late stages of this men's round robin. 4 teams will advance to the playoff phase, and here are the standings. China has already qualified. They're at 6-0. Japan's at 4-1, as are New Zealand. Korea at 4-2, so we can see how important this game is. The winner would go a long way to clinching their playoff spot. Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei, Australia, Kazakhstan, and Qatar round out the field. We'll keep an eye on all the games for you. On Sheet A, Japan takes on Kazakhstan, Australia versus Qatar on Sheet B, our feature game on Sheet C, and on Sheet D, Hong Kong faces Chinese Taipei. I'm Hans Fralov. I'm joined by Sander Rolvagen. Good morning to you, Sander.
Good morning, Hans.
Should be a good one. This is really for a playoff spot, effectively.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind that I was thinking to see Korea, China and Japan through to the playoffs, and really about who's going to be coming along with them. I was thinking maybe Australia could be in the mix. They were in the playoffs last year, but they've been disappointing so far. New Zealand looking to maybe clinch that spot this time.
Tough task for the Kiwis. Korea plays the red stones. New Zealand plays the yellow stones. New Zealand has earned last rock advantage by having the better last stone draws. So Korea will get us underway. Lee Dong-hyung, Korean lead.
다섯, 여섯, 다섯, 넷, 다섯, 넷.
잘 타다. 맞아요, 얘들아. 조금만 더 맞아.
넷, 다섯, 다섯.
나이스.
자,
중앙 웨이트 확실히 잡자. 중앙 웨이트 확실히 잡자.
Here's Kiwi lead, Warren Dobson.
Where? Side. Whoa. Oh yeah, yep. Whoa, little bean. Go close side. Where? 6. Whoa. Around that guard by a mile.
6-4.
Ready? Yep, hard.
New Zealand looking to draw around the center.
Rub it. Go side. Nice weight, dummy.
Nice shot there by Warren Dobson. Half around that center.
거의 딱 봐. 여덟, 일곱.
In turn for
8까지 와야 돼.
Lee Dong-hyung.
8. 잘 깨지고 있어. 계속 와.
일곱.
계속 와줘.
여섯.
잘 깨. 계속 와줘. 아주 돌리면 안 돼. 계속 와.
This one's making a move.
야,
Just sneaks by the guard. Nice shot.
자.
이거 이쪽이 좀 덜 나가지 중앙에. 안 나가지.
Would have liked a bit of contact up against that New Zealand stone center.
Yeah, it's kind of half checked now and so high in the house. It's just almost a guard just because of the great ice conditions we've had here this week. That incredible late finish, the good swing in the ice. Dobson could come straight around everything here and get buried.
Line's real good. Hard!
Looks to be pulling up a bit short though.
Okay, we roll, we roll.
By the top guard, but
Bump and roll, bump and roll.
bumped the second
Okay.
Korean stone. And unfortunately for the Kiwis,
Try,
they nudge
Dolly.
the Korean stone right onto the face of their own shot rock. Here are the rules of play. It's the 5 rock free guard zone. 6 ends minimum, 10 ends scheduled. 38 minutes of thinking time for each team. Each team has 1 60-second timeout. Chance here for Korea to make a play now. This stone hit their own stone onto the Kiwi rock. Hwang Hyun-jun, just 21 years of age.
컨트!
와, 클레인. 오. 도영아, 많이 봐야 돼.
Oh, nice shot. Removes the Kiwi counter
Safe.
and leaves their own stone squarely behind that center.
It's either that or you just play this. And leave yourself a corner.
Yeah.
Probably roll in behind.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
Bumper! Bumper!
Angle bump center.
Yeah, the first thought here is to come around the center guard, but because they have last stone advantage here, they might want to try and keep things a little more open.
Up!
Anton
Down!
Hood.
Yes!
Thought here is to make that little angled raise, try and roll the shooter, leave a corner guard. They might even spin this yellow stone in behind, but this is going to over curl.
Okay.
So
That's the top stone.
yeah, good call by Scott
Over there,
Becker
nice
to just
try.
leave that one and get the center guard off the center line.
Sweep it down, mate, and nice throw there, mate. Hunter! 웨이 좋아!
아, 기다리자, 얘들아.
웨이 끝!
르!
If you were with us yesterday, this team Korea had an amazing game against Japan. What a battle.
도영아, 도영아.
This one, 3/4 the Kiwi stone rolling into the rings.
좀만 더. 오케이. 네, 스윗.
After a game of such intensity, Sander, how do you think the Koreans would have processed overnight and come back this morning?
Flopping on top there, it's real nice.
Well, most teams have a bit of a debrief nowadays and just talk about the game. But a good sleep usually helps.
Good sleep always helps.
Good food, some good sleep. Coffee in the morning, you're good to go.
Yep, hard!
Players are quite used to playing lots of games, so
Whoa, just nose. Okay, go through. Not enough ice.
there's definitely a few teams in the competition here have a bigger advantage of that. They play a lot more competitions, traveling around the world the whole time, so not too unfamiliar.
Least expected.
But a championship is a bit different than a bonspiel.
Absolutely it is. Single round robin here, so every game matters. At stake as Jung Jae throws his first stone.
It's like every game's a final, really.
Yeah. Top 2 teams advance to the World Men's Curling Championships, which will be in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, next February. So a lot to play for here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Simon Nilsson
Yep!
on it immediately.
Whoa! Whoa! Yep! And roll again. Okay, nice throws. Sorry, shouldn't have got enough yet. Nice throw.
It was a nice shot. Had to flirt with that corner guard.
오케이. 2, 3 좋아.
Simon.
Yep.
Ready to lose.
Yep. 마지막에 좋아.
Yep.
마지막에 좋아.
Jung Byung-jin. Removes the Kiwi rock.
Have a crack. Wick off there and roll in. Just tee. Yep. One's tight.
top two.
Where?
2, 4.
Well, Dobby go close. Ready? Yep.
T.
Hard!
2, 4 coming down.
Hard!
Trying to get around this corner.
Good, whoa!
Oh, great sweep.
Great shot.
Terrific shot. Team shot there from Team New Zealand. Super shot by Nielsen. Great brushing by Hood and Dobson. Let's have another look. Watch how close this comes to that guard. Oh. And in the space of 6 feet, that stone buries completely. That big late finish that Sander was talking about.
I love that call, though.
Yeah.
Like some teams, when they play those big, better teams there, they run a bit scared and play a bit defensively, make it too easy for their opponent. But New Zealand and Scott Becker thinking, no, we're going to put pressure on these Koreans. That's the way we want to win this game.
Absolutely. Kim Soo-hyuk, the veteran of this Korean team.
Hey.
Yep.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Kiwi Stone survives, still behind cover, so a great chance now for New Zealand to get one around the other guard and set up a 2 and maybe more.
Showing him the full stone out here's fine. Top 4 don't need to be fully buried off on the outside edge. We can't come the inside because it offers them a double all day. So. Yeah, it's full speed, yeah?
Yeah. Not quite full speed.
Well, I'll just throw normal tee, let you boys take it down.
Scott Becker.
Yeah, a chance now to sit 2.
All there, but it's a bit soft.
2.
It's a bit
Keep an eye
soft.
on it.
Keep an eye on it.
Top
It's gonna bend.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Go hard. 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 Keep going. Whoa. Whoa. Take it deep, Dobby.
It's going to slide deep. Comes to the back of the forefoot.
Yeah, might have actually
Sorry,
even
boys. Too hard.
set that even deeper.
Had to go
Something for
blind.
Korea to freeze onto now, but
Bit
New
soft.
Zealand line too. Definitely putting the pressure on Kim Soo-hyuk here.
Probably lucky worst of 15.
15.
Two come around draws that are pretty snugly by those guards for the Kiwis here in the first end.
조금만 더.
They've got last rock advantage here in the first and something working. There's the young Kiwi. Second and third combination, Anton Hood, Simon Nielsen. Kim Soo-hyuk.
Well, I'll tell you, not easy to make a perfect freeze in the first end of a game.
얘들아 제대로 봐.
Especially after throwing a run back on your first. This is his first draw.
얘들아 천천히 봐.
They wouldn't have played this path much in practice. They were all mostly throwing to the home end, and this one's looking just a bit hot for weight.
It's going to go past the button and past the back of the forefoot.
Wow.
So a fantastic chance for New Zealand now. Already lying one, and that one is open. So chance for Scott Becker if he can hit and stick.
Yeah, whoa.
Kiwis could score 3.
Yeah, just bumper.
get a great look at it from Scott Becker's perspective. Kim Soo-hyuk.
아니 이상은 충분히 끌고 들어갈 수 있었잖아. 조금만 더 천천히 가죠.
That would be 3 points on the last 3 rocks for the Kiwis.
Yeah. A great come around by Simon Nielsen, another one by Scott Becker, and now a chance to close it out.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Waiting for it to curl. Is it going to stick around? Is it going to stick around? No, it's going to roll out. That's a big disappointment for the New Zealanders, but they do score a pair. Had a chance for a 3, but it rolled away. New Zealand breaks on top, though, with a deuce in the first end after one end of play. It's New Zealand 2 and Korea nothing.
Should have stayed with the original ice I had. Sorry. Good in though.
Yeah, we'll hit it for 2, so
Yep.
I think 3 would be good.
Top 2.
Okay.
Nice end, boys. Everyone throwing. Okay, make sure he's all in.
Korea will have the hammer here in the second end.
Good look. Looks like he's getting over curl away. 2, 4. Let Sai go close. Yep, bring him back. Come on, make sure he's here. Nice weight, Dobby. Lovely.
Great first end for the New Zealanders, but Sander maybe later in the game might look back at that chance to cash the 3 and wish they had that extra point.
Yeah, then again, you can look back on a lot of shots through a game.
True.
No need to get hung up on any particular shot, I think.
Oh, that's true. I'm sure if you asked the New Zealanders at the beginning of the end, would you be happy with a deuce, they would have said absolutely.
Shot.
Nice corner guard there for Korea. Warren Dobson. Veteran in this team, the Olympian from 2006.
It looks like it's tracking.
Your old teammate.
My old teammate, Dobby.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard his teammates call him Warren.
Yep.
No, he doesn't get Warren a lot. Just from his mom. Freezes right on top. That'll make Korea make a play on them. Hard to ignore 2 stones in the rings like that.
Yeah, I might just see them try and hit the nose here and sit right on top, frozen. Either that or make a roll towards that corner guard.
This one's making a move. Nice quiet control weight though, so it may stick around. Becker looking to sweep it, has to wait till it reaches the tee line. It does hang around.
Yeah, pretty good result.
Moves the stones off the center line.
Much better rolling too far there and leave your opponent playing out in the wing. Makes it hard for them to roll back to the center lane. With rolling that deep, it's not really going to be that close to the forefoot. It really opens up that corner guard. So even if they make the hit and stick here in New Zealand, I think we might see Korea just play the draw in around the corner.
Set. Okay, great try, Ant. Nice throw.
Keep an eye on all the games here for you, and let's look in at Japan versus Kazakhstan. Yuta Matsumura from Japan. Throwing a draw here. So he just needs to draw full 8 foot to score a pair. No problem there for Matsumura, so that will be a deuce for Japan. They're up 2-0. Korean draw around the corner guard, slides deep. Might be a chance for New Zealand to make a play. That one's actually pretty well buried. So Scott Becker electing to clear the corner guard. You like this call, Sander?
Just keeping it simple, I guess.
Yep.
It's not, and the shot stone in the back 12 for Korea, it's not really a stone you'd love to guard either.
Right.
Roll the yellow, roll the yellow.
Bit of a miscue here though.
Right.
That's going to change the end.
You're right.
Yes, it does.
Should have just stayed on it the whole way.
That guard now
My bad.
giving Korea something to work with. We saw how New Zealand took advantage of the guards in the first end. Korea now with last rock in the second. It's their turn to attack.
It's kind of a mistake for New Zealand. They might have to make them switch gears a bit from defense to offense. But sometimes the best defense is offense.
Absolutely.
That's what they say. So.
Especially now in the era of the 5 rock free guard zone, there seems to be more rocks in play often. So going for a strategy where you're just hitting everything in sight doesn't work as well as it might have used to. That stone gets to the tee line, but not fully behind cover.
Should be available enough for New Zealand to make a play on. If it was perfectly buried, you might have seen them freeze.
Sorry, bump.
Simon Nielsen.
Bump down!
Bump. Whoa!
Bump down!
Yep! Yep, whoa. Yep. Nice throw.
Good shot there by Nielsen.
Great throw,
Noses it. Sandra, I've been noticing of this New Zealand team through the week. Continual improvement, particularly in the weight communications from Anton Hood and Simon Nielsen. You can just sense their confidence growing. They're being a bit more assertive with their calls. It's good to see.
I think that goes for a lot of players when they come to a championship, when you get to play on very good ice conditions and consistent ice conditions time and time again. You really get comfortable with the ice and you get a really good sense of the weight and curl and everything.
Korea wrecks on the guard and it's going to spill through the rings. So that will take a bit of the wind out of the sails for Korea in terms of scoring more than one in this end.
One thing I love about playing a championship with good ice like this is after a few games you're just in tune with it.
Right.
And when your player lets go, you know exactly where it's going to stop. It's a
good feeling.
Yeah, a really good feeling. And you might not get that at home where you have a little bit of different ice conditions depending on who's prepping the ice and even the weather depending on your venue. And also playing in different spiels, different mod spiels every weekend. You're always having to adjust a lot, but to play a full week with the same ice is great.
Nose hit there from Simon Nielsen. That turns the end around completely for the Kiwis. Now they're lying 3. If you're new to curling, the basic strategy of curling, when you've got last rock, you're trying to score more than 1 point. When you don't have last rock, you're basically trying to make your opponent take just 1 point. We call that a force, and New Zealand trying for the force here in end number 2. Every time you score, you turn over last rock advantage to your opponent. Little inside roll there for Korea. Good shot.
Yeah, easy. Do you want to roll to the middle?
Yeah, we'll curl a wee bit more in the middle, Dobby. Yeah.
Do you want to roll to the middle?
Just bumper. Yeah, trying to roll over to the trying to roll that way, but not obviously jamming it in the corner. The hit's most important here, obviously. Yeah. But yes, a nice little flop to the centre would be good.
Scott Becker letting us know what the flight plan is.
Boys, so this one's just bumper.
Bumper down.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Down.
whoa, whoa,
Stop bumper.
Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. We're rolling. Okay, took too much off that one. Take it over, side. Take it over, Ant.
Nice weight read there again from Anton Hood. Right out of hand, said it was bumper down.
Yep.
Even though he was actually wide of his intended target line. Less weight, moved way more than they thought it was going to, and that good weight read there from Anton Hood let Warren Dobson know how to read the line.
It is quite weight sensitive here.
Sure is. Harder you throw it, the straighter it goes. Throw it light, and they go sideways. They really move.
Yeah, it makes a big difference just between hack weight and bumper and control. Makes a huge difference what you actually throw there in terms of curl. Start throwing the firmer weight still, run pretty straight on you.
Kim Soo-hyuk
Head.
trying to duck one around that corner guard, but this one does not look heavy. Everybody sweeping this one. It's going to be light.
미안. 미안.
Well, came up a little heavy on his last one in that first end, maybe trying to pull the strings a little bit. Clearly a bit too much.
Can't hit the sticks. Right there. Yep. So the top of the house, boys. Right on the 8 foot.
Go through about there.
Or the 4, whatever you want to call it.
Looking a bit scary now for Korea.
Sure is.
He's come down a fresh track there and he's just hit the softer ice or the rougher ice. So this one here, we just want to leave it high at the top of the house.
Yeah, this draw past should be 15.
Oh, it'll just be that same draw.
25, 30.
Yeah, it'll be 30 for me. It's quick, it's right up there. Yeah. Just top house. Even just outside's okay. Still light 3 years to either play a hit or a cold draw.
Scotty Becker always gives you the play-by-play as he's getting ready to throw the rock.
It makes our job easy, huh?
Sure does.
I think there's two options with this one. Either you go top house like the Kiwis are doing here, just to try and take away the draw path for Korea, or you try and come around the guards and just cut down the scoring area for Korea as much as possible.
They'd like to get this one on the rings if they can.
Yep, hard. Yep, hard.
Good looking rock.
Good body.
That's a great shot.
Keep going.
New Zealand lies 4.
It's pretty good.
That's a good spot.
Most of the 8 foot is open to score. It's tough to draw there, so essentially they're forcing Kim Soo-hyuk not to play the hit.
It's already kind of mission accomplished for the New Zealanders. Best Korea can do is score 1. They'll get the hammer back. And if there's any kind of an error here, when you're hitting against 4, that's how steals of 3 happen.
After seeing that first throw, I could have actually been tempted to just draw around the guards and say, okay, hit the 4 foot.
Yeah. Make a draw. You've missed 2. Well, it didn't really miss the first one, but it's a bit heavy. But here comes the hit. Trying to score a single point. No problem there for Kim Soo-hyuk. Korea is on the board. It's a force for the Kiwis, a single point for Korea after 2 ends of play. It's New Zealand 2 and Korea 1.
넷 다섯.
다섯, 넷.
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 넷 다섯. 다섯까지 와줘. 괜찮아.
넷. 계속 가야 돼.
넷까지 와.
조금만 더.
넷 이상.
넷.
Welcome back to the Gangneung Curling Center. You're enjoying live action from the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018.
Okay, shot. Sit.
Feature match this morning in the men's event. It's Korea versus New Zealand. Hans Frauenlob here with Sander Rolveg. And Sander, early advantage to the Kiwis.
Yeah, I'd say so. Scoring 2, get the fourth in the second, really put some pressure on the Koreans. And now they get hammer back, looking to score 2 again, and they'll be coming around the centre guard again. Seems to be their game plan.
Whoa. Two. Whoa, let him do it all himself.
First one around the
No.
guard.
Simon a wee bit.
Could throw a corner guard yourself here, but sometimes you do that and it's a wasted rock because all the action ends up being behind that centre guard.
Half around top 4 foot for Warren Dobson. Nice shot.
I think that's something the team's probably looked at. When do we do the best? Is it when we throw that corner or come around the centre guard?
여섯.
기다려줘, 기다려줘.
Well, that's very astute, Sander. You're right. Some teams are really comfortable playing it out to the wings. Some teams are more comfortable playing into the center.
계속 와줘.
화이팅.
You don't really need many guards to score 2.
조금만 더.
You just need to force one mistake from your opponent, and you got two points going. Like here, this one coming up short. New Zealand come in and sit 2 early.
더 타이트하게 잡을게.
Lee Dong-hyung about 4 feet light on that attempted freeze. Interesting. Looks like Scott Becker wants to go to the wing, Sander, rather than try to duck another one around the center, maybe saving that shot for later.
Yeah, not wanting to group his stones too much here and clutter the centre line more than it is already. Knowing full well Korea is going to have to start shuffling some stones about, so just put a stone on the wing there for Korea to worry about.
Whoa, boys, whoa, have a look. That looks deep. Okay, bring him deeper. Yep. Yep. Just one.
Perfect shot.
Yeah, nice here, Dobby. Thank
That's
you.
great lead play.
Yeah, very nicely done by Warren Dobson.
Wants that behind the tee line so they can't make the hit and roll 4-shot stone.
New Zealand playing the yellow stones. They lied too.
Still playing the hit here though, Korea, so they're going to be chasing in this end.
Hwang Kyung-jun.
저기야.
Just noses.
It's not too bad for Korea because when the Kiwis make the nose hit back, now it's going to be higher in the house and a chance to make that roll.
Lots of rocks in play. Oh my goodness. Are there any rocks not in play? No. Everything in play on that sheet. My goodness. A forest of granite. Nose hit. Don't worry, folks. We'll go back and have a look at that Japan-Kazakhstan end. In our feature game, New Zealand lying 2 after that nose hit by Anton Hood.
I was going to say it was a patient approach by Kim So-hyuk to make that nose hit. Kiwi's nose hit back now. A much better chance to make a roll in behind the guard.
Every time that rock gets hit on the nose, it moves a little bit further forward in the house. This one, though, is going to spill.
Yeah, now that groundwork is spoiled, New Zealand can just throw it to the wing again.
Saw the broom pat there from Scott Becker. That seems to be the plan. Anton Hood, the 18-year-old.
Hey, class. Whoa. Half class.
Back 4.
Whoa.
Might pull up, but
That looks like it's flying.
Not laying a brush to it. They said T plus right out of hand. Will it stay in the rings? No, this one is sliding through.
I like
I
it.
get the feeling that T plus is an optimistic judge.
That was a hopeful call.
Well, Well, we're not wrong. It's D+.
It was certainly plus. Plus.
So
Chance now for Korea to get around those center guards. Lee Jung-jae.
yeah, Kiwi's not able to lure Korea to play out to the wing anymore.
여섯.
계속. 계속.
어디?
일곱, 여섯, 일곱.
여덟.
Meanwhile, back at the Forest of Granite in the Japan-Kazakhstan game,
티, 여덟, 여덟.
discretion looks like the better part of valor for Kazakhstan's Albiolaik, and Jujbai just throws it away. They're going to confirm the score. It's at least 1 point for Kazakhstan. And we'll come back and confirm the score when we have it.
Just even is fine.
That was a great tap by Victor Kim, actually. Came around everything.
So that it's there. Just pushing that red
Interesting
straight
to see
through.
how many points they got.
Tight
Yeah,
five,
we'll let you
side.
know as soon as the officials and the players sort it out. New Zealand still lying one here. Korean Stone, though, sitting threateningly right beside it. Simon Nielsen.
Tight. No, whoa. Tight. Tight. Yep. Whoa, he's fine. Yep, Dobby, yep. Yep, hard, in there, yeah. Okay.
Taking away the path to that Korean Stone with this guard. Angles for Korea to play the double run aren't so good, Sander, are they? Red,
Nice
yellow.
side, Simon. Could have brought
Yeah, not great.
아, 별로 것 같아. 괜히 이거
Need to catch and
1번만
breathe and they'll
들어도
open everything
내려오면
up if they do
나올 수
so.
있을 것 같아.
Kim knows the yellow run back is there for the Kiwis.
We weren't going to leave you hanging, folks. We were going to see how this one all wound up after the measure in that Japan-Kazakhstan game. Not often you see a player throw their last stone away deliberately, but it was one of those situations for Kazakhstan as we look at Yuta Matsumura. Sometimes you can do more damage than good with your last rock, so Kazakhstan deciding it's better not to throw it. They did get a single point.
오, 얍. 좋아, 괜찮아.
Well, here's Red pushing it into the rings. Changes the angles, opens up and exposes the New Zealand shot.
Same way. Even just coming there.
On the inside.
There's the
If you could
confirmation.
just get one top four, half
Single point for
guarding our
Kazakhstan.
one, that'd be great. Even just coming down and tapping that,
Yep.
flopping on there.
16
just
rocks in
tide's
play,
fine,
score
side.
1.
Same way.
Tide's fine.
A couple of options down this path for the Kiwis, Sander. Guard, you could corner freeze.
Yeah, just top 12 here. Edge on edge with the guard's pretty good. It's a bit of a setup shot. Also protects your shot stone.
Whoa!
But the freeze is there. You can even tap their own yellow flop. Corner frozen on the red.
Where? Back.
This one's a bit wide.
Yeah, it's got a lot of moving to do to get any contact, even on their own stone.
3 or 4 good options. This is not one of them.
Oh, don't want to be sliding deep and through.
That's why the last thing Scott Becker said is top 12 is fine.
Right.
You can make the tap, but top 12 is
Okay,
fine.
hard luck.
Urging him to err on the short side, coming up lighter, and it's just not the tolerance there.
No, absolutely right. And the New Zealanders are in a bit of trouble now as a result.
Yeah, would have been looking really good actually with a stone somewhere top 12. It would be hard for Korea to do much. Would have left them 2 ways into that red, 2 run-ins. So it's a bit of a shame that.
Good look at the hack, the starting blocks for the curlers. As
Head.
Kim Soo-hyuk
Yep. Whoa.
makes a play on this Kiwi counter.
Yep.
Hard!
be close to that center guard. He clips it.
동영아 살려야 돼.
Again, seeing that quiet weight, the down weight, the stones really cut. Not a terrible result for Korea, but absolutely not what they were looking for. Keep their own stone in the rings.
I like that.
New Zealand does have last rock here in the third.
Pretty much the same call here for Scott Becker, but I think they'll be
But that's why I'm trying to sit something, even
more
if it's
keen
there.
on the tap this
If
time.
it's not right, he's slamming, so high is better.
Okay.
Top 2.
All right, just throwing the same shot the side just through. If it's a wee bit heavy, we'll go for a little inside tap back and just flop onto the top of theirs. But top 6, top 4 is fine here. Yeah.
So top 6 or top 4 means, or at least
Top
top
12,
4 means
top
something
8.
different to New Zealand than most teams.
It does. New Zealand kind of use the old Scottish measurement system around the rings, and so they'll call the, what most of the curling world calls the red 4-foot circle, they'll call that the 2-foot.
Yeah, so they're thinking radius rather than diameter.
That's right, radius rather than diameter, going back to our high school geometry.
So top 6 would then be top 12.
Top 12.
Where?
Team.
Tail back.
This is a really wide path.
Whoa.
Team.
You might have to come around everything.
Take a round. Yep. Take a round.
Don't think it's going to have enough weight to get around, though.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Just a straight up double. Sorry, boys.
Good weight. Just
Hey?
Yeah, a little bit wide.
Yeah, just a wider track.
Might have left a hole even.
Yep. It's really the same path that Kim Soo-hyuk just threw, but he won't be able to throw that down weight. He's going to have to keep the weight firmer to get through the hole and not over curl and crash the guard.
Yeah, the double not very easy there on the yellows, and might even jam on the red stone on the left-hand side of our screen.
And I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of risk. If he ever feathered that yellow stone in the top 6-foot or 12-foot, if he ever careened off of that, picked off his red, they would leave the New Zealanders a shot for 4, so he's got to be a bit careful here. There is a gap, but it's not a big one. There's a look at it.
If he makes it though, New Zealand might just have to pierce the same hole.
Lee Jae-ho watching his skip try to thread the needle here.
Interesting to see if they might leave a triple.
They're through the hole.
Shot.
Very nice shot.
So the question for me now, can you bang that on and maybe get all 3?
I think you can, Sander. You'd have to hit 3/4 on the high side, I think, to get the action, but it might be there.
I think got this slight inside flop there, Kim So-hyuk. That's probably going to stop New Zealand from making a play on them.
Shot.
There's that little bit of inside roll just at the end. So New Zealand.
It's a wee bit full, a wee bit heavy rubbing off their red.
Is it a straight draw here, Sander?
Let's come around our one at the top there.
Come around ours. That confirms it for
Yeah,
us.
that's all I need.
Tough shot. He needs to be full 4-foot to score.
It's pretty tough to play the hit and roll as well. You don't have a lot to roll too.
Yeah. Is that what I threw? Yes. It's a bit soft.
Confident though.
Well, the last stone, even though it tracked wide, the good news for Scott Becker, it means it's kind of the same path that he just threw.
Top 4.
All there.
2.
All there.
Top 2.
Whoa.
Wait.
Simon, go close. Whoa, Simon.
Go,
Whoa,
go.
Simon, close. Whoa. Hasn't bent yet.
And this
Whoa,
one has
Simon.
gone wide of the logos. This is an even wider track than his first one.
Wait till there.
Get now, Simon. Get now.
Get to the inside of the red stone in the back here.
Trying to cut down the damage, but it will be a steal of 2 for Korea. They're going to double check it. Might be close for second shot. We'll just wait for the confirmation. Just that wider path. Didn't curl enough.
Wee bit heavy. Sorry, boys. Too red. Too red.
2 red is the confirmation, so it's a steal of 2 for Korea, and that puts them in the lead. So the early momentum to the Kiwis, but the momentum has swung back to Korea. They lead it 3-2 after 3.
Yeah,
짧거나
just being too positive. Yeah, turns. Tighten it up.
Probably get too much loss.
Just tighten my out turns up.
형님 라인 잡아주세요.
해도 돼요.
넷.
셋,
We're live at the Gangneung Curling Center at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships.
넷.
Feature game in the men's competition.
5별로.
넷.
The host,
셋,
Korea,
넷.
now
넷.
taking the lead in this game, 3-2 over New Zealand.
샷. 세.
It's an important game for both teams, both sitting on 4 wins. A 5th win wouldn't secure a playoff place, but it would virtually secure a playoff place. Warren Dobson.
Right, men.
Whoa, line's
Men
good.
only. Long.
Change in approach this time, Sander, not going around the center guard, electing to throw one to the wing.
Get him off that line, boys.
Yeah. Maybe
Yep. Get him off that line. Bring him as tight as you can.
just wanting to
Good
make sure
sweep.
they have a good chance of scoring a
Nice
couple
slow,
here,
Bobby.
although
Good sweep, boys.
did set up nicely for them in the previous end as well.
They did have a good setup in the last end.
So I'm not sure if that's a sign of frustration.
Well, they did get their deuce in the first end, getting Simon Nielsen throwing one around a corner guard to set up the deuce. So
That's true.
여덟,
Lee Dong-hyung,
넷,
일곱.
Korean lead.
라인.
일곱.
나에게
여덟.
일곱.
나에게
It's just a game plan for New Zealand. Whenever they're up in a game, they come around the center. Whenever they're down, they throw the corner,
Could be.
which is how quite a few teams would play it.
Still going to be close to that center guard. It just does clip it.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with that second stone. I'm starting to wonder if that might be a bit slower. It's been coming up short with that second stone a few times.
Yeah, consistently about 4 feet.
Yeah.
Just a little bit short on a number of draws in this game. So Warren Dobson now with a chance to get behind cover. 89% for the tournament. Warren's having a good event.
Whoa!
These are the Olympic stones. There shouldn't be much to pick from, but there's always
Yeah.
1 or 2 odd ones.
Whoa!
Something you can really figure out in the evening practice, being your coach and alternate, or even one
Great weight, Dubby!
of the teams.
Well, just need
The
him
team
a wee bit
players.
higher.
Nice
Out,
shot.
and you can check that over and over again and see if there's any anomalies.
아니 팀 위에 있어.
Okay.
Yeah, the stones are individually numbered, so the athletes know which one is which. As Sanders said, they have the opportunity to practice and test them.
Could be a slight advantage for the nation or teams that participate at the Olympic Games. They'll have a whole more information on the stones, but that might change from
It's true.
championship to championship. But
9 months ago, yeah.
at least if you know, okay, that 7 rock was not good at the Olympic Games, you might want to keep your eye on it for this week.
웨이 좋아, 웨이 좋아.
But nowadays, there's not a lot to. It's not a lot you can find, but I think, what, probably 20, 30 years ago, there
Yeah, there would have
Be
been much
a
more
bit more.
variation. Yeah, absolutely right.
might be playing with different sets of stones on the
Yeah.
ice as well.
Yeah, some of them with inserts, some of them without. Yeah, it was a bit
Heel!
all over the place back in the day, but yes, the competition equipment now, very high quality, very consistent. I'm often asked by people that are brand new to the players bring their own stones with them to competitions. They absolutely do not.
Whoa!
Anton Hood trying to clear the front.
Nice.
There was a time they
Okay,
did,
nice throw.
wasn't there?
Well, yeah, and in New Zealand there's a rich tradition of outdoor curling, and players there certainly do have their own pair of stones. They even go as far as to take the handles off the stones because the running surfaces actually have different characteristics. There's a fast side and they call it a drug side, slow side. So yep, some people still do have their own curling stones, but here at a Pacific Asia Championship competition, they're provided by the World Curling Federation. And as Sandra pointed out, this set of stones were used at the Pyeongchang Olympic Games.
네, 좋아. 내리자.
Quite happy that's the way it works nowadays.
동영이야.
Yeah,
I'd be upset to
it would be a
use
tough
all my
job.
luggage allowance on
Yeah.
2 curling stones every time I travel.
Exactly. The job of the lead would get much worse.
Catch guards, fine.
Not only have to carry the brooms, but you have to carry the rocks. That wouldn't be much fun. Kiwi's trying to generate a pair here with the hammer after dropping that steel.
But that slight
Pick.
tea kettle lift
Pick up.
Anton Hood, similar to that of David Nedwin.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep, yep.
Alberta.
Control the yellow.
Yeah, David Medowin, a little Kevin Cooey in there as well.
yeah.
Follow that
Whoa,
reverse,
whoa,
Simon.
whoa, whoa.
Wonder
Okay.
if that's might be Kui inspired, or
I think it is. I think Kevin
Nice
Cooey is
corner
one of
there, too.
Anton's
Good throw.
curling heroes. So I can think of worse people to try and model a delivery after than Kevin Cooey. Let's have another look at this little backswing from Anton Hood. Just a little tilt. And he's away.
둘.
Yes, very David Nedowin-like.
맞아, 계속 맞아.
나이스.
그냥 뒤로 가자.
not sure how old Anton Hood was when Nedwin was
라인만 라인만.
He's seen the old videos.
the early 2000s when the Furby 4 were
It's true.
beating everyone.
좀만 더. 오케이, 오케이.
Well, let's see.
자, 자.
We played against the Randy Furby team in 2005, and let's see, Anton would have been 5.
Pass that and get on the
So
inside.
maybe Kui inspired them.
Maybe Cooey inspired.
You do this is fine. You'll be in front.
Also from Alberta.
Heck.
True. Canadian province of Manitoba usually gets
Even
the
if
rap
you
for
just
having
touch it
the
back here.
funky slides and crewing deliveries, but you're right. Those Albertans with a little mini backswing, that's maybe their thing. Anton Hood adapting it to New Zealand. Here's Simon Nielsen.
Heck. Clean.
Good distance between that guard and the target rock, so a chance for Nielsen to
That looks up.
get to the Korean shot. This one, though, again tracking outside in. These stones are running a little straighter this morning than they have earlier in the week. Just grazes the Korean rock, pushes it across the forefoot.
You can see there's a bit more rotation on his throw, and that's going to run straighter. But we've seen Kim So-hyuk over curl a few of those soft shots, but he has less rotation and just grabs on earlier.
Well, as you mentioned, Sander, it's very weight sensitive, isn't it?
안으로.
Big difference between how the rocks react, hack weight to board weight.
오케이.
Yeah, but also at release, if you're slightly inside out, it's going to track for a long time. More rotation, it's going to
위에도
track.
괜찮아.
오케이.
But it's
뒤로
more
나오지 마.
soft, less rotation, you're going to get more curls. So it's really important to know your teammates and how they throw, and of course to be consistent with it,
Yes,
so you know what's coming. And just to make it easier for the skip to put the broom down, give you the correct ice.
Lee Jung-jae, 84% for the tournament.
여덟.
If you throw them differently
Yes,
each
sir.
time, very hard for the skip to
여덟까지만.
figure out.
Let's have a look at Japan, Kazakhstan.
여섯 일곱.
Yuta Matsumura with his last stone.
여섯.
Double takeout here to maybe score a bundle. Oh, there they go. That looks like a score of 3 for Japan. Nice shot there by Matsumura. So Japan, they break out to a 5-1 lead in that one. Great shot.
Play that off. Right. Yep.
Matsumura and company, they're looking dangerous as we head towards the playoff phase. Playing very well.
Seems to be carrying the torch of the Morozumi team quite well.
Let's have a look at Chinese Taipei, Hong Kong. Lots of rocks in play here as well. Jason Chang.
Not often you
Close
see
leg
a
wide.
Wait only.
thrower talk
Whoa then.
during a slide.
Then whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, we talked about Scott Becker
Can't
giving
touch it,
commentary.
no.
Jason's in that zone
You
too.
got no line for anything.
You got no line.
You just gotta let it sit. Just gotta let it
Just
sit.
willing this stone to stop. But it is going to slide through and back into the 8-foot. So
This came out a little
single
strong.
point there for Hong Kong. Chance for 2 goes by, and it's a single point. That one's tied at 1. Both teams desperately need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. We'll keep an eye on all of the games for you. Kim Soo-hyuk, 84% for the tournament.
Yeah, but a few struggles so far in this game.
Clear.
라인 좋아.
Good chance here, though, to really put some pressure on New Zealand with a good guard.
하나.
This one's going to be a quite long guard.
조금만 더, 조금만 더, 조금만 더.
Just across that red hog line to be in play.
좀만 더, 좀만 더.
That's miles long. He does cover the stone in the top 4-foot.
Yeah, luckily the line's
Line's
pretty
really
good there.
You can't see any of it.
Oh, you can't see any of it, but that's such a long guard. You just play back here.
Okay.
You just come down and just try and tap this around.
Yeah. Okay.
Very about there. More weight throwing. More. You're just playing, you're literally just playing more. You're just playing back line.
You kind of have to make a move here. You peel the guard's going to come right back, and
Might be a better one.
you're trying the side of the button for one.
That's right.
Might open it up a little bit here. This is, especially this, when you want to throw just back ring, back line
Just
weight.
to skinny that
If
guard.
you ever overthrow
I mean,
it,
if we skinny the
throw
guard
back
and roll it
or
off,
more,
that's fine.
That's going to run on you.
We're just
So
trying to, again, we're just trying to give me a...
very
If we can ever get
important
just
to throw
close
the right
tight
weight.
to this guard around and just kind of bump them all around and leave ours in play. Might leave me with a easier shot for the button. It's back line.
Back line weight confirmed by Scott Becker. Try to go very tight to that center guard. Get to that stone in the front 4-foot.
Yeah, back line, hit.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Hit.
Yep! Whoa, 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 whoa! Simon! Simon! Go hard,
They should be going hard now to get as much break as they can. Nielsen sweeping for curl. Pushes them around. That's a pretty good shot from Scott Becker. Korea still lying 1, but importantly, they push that stone away from the protection of the guard.
패드 하나.
Kim Soo-hyuk has to be a bit careful now because New Zealand has got second and third shot right there in the 4-foot. New Zealand does have the hammer.
If you play the hit and roll off the top hill here, you don't roll far enough. You might leave a double for our score too.
That's right.
1번 안쪽으로 올게요.
Good look at it. Shot rock.
센터 딱 물고 있으면 제일 좋을 것
We
같아.
just saw the stone that Becker threw. He could throw the out turn again and get to that Korean shot. Probably on either turn.
롤 봐야 되겠다. 정지야, 롤 봐야 돼. 롤 봐야 돼. 더블 나와. 아, 괜찮아.
What do you think Soo-hyuk's looking for? Just a nose?
롤 봐야 될 것 같아.
I think nose is probably pretty good, but it looked like they were calling for the roll in behind the guard here.
Okay.
But it's the result between those two shots that's not a great option for the Koreans.
On its way.
Okay.
오, 도영아.
Now it's Korea trying to sweep for curl.
야, 현진아 밖으로 빼.
Not going to get an inside roll. It's actually an outside roll.
Okay.
That's going to leave enough room to come after that shot stone, like you said, Hans.
It's really the same shot that he just threw.
If anything, even less weight.
Ooh, is that necessary?
Heavy ice for that one.
Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei. Yellowstone belongs to Chinese Taipei's Randy Shen.
Same shot. Try the chip there one. Come around that tight.
Make sure it's
Delicate, but looks like a makeable shot for two.
Same weight. What did I throw?
Clean it.
Clean it.
Yep. Hard, guys.
Key line, key line, key line, key line.
Hard.
Nice,
It's got to be a
good.
thin edge off that red, Dobby. Yeah.
Key line, key line,
Is
key
that
line.
the same ice?
Okay, well, look
Yeah.
up.
Clean, clean.
He's full 4 foot.
Okay.
Did they oversweep
That's
it?
how looks.
Did they oversweep it?
Release in.
No, it's fine. Nice shot there from
Drag
Randy
some
Shen.
more.
That's a
No,
pair.
no, no. Whoa, yep. Leave your finger pointed the other way.
Back to this really important shot from Scott Becker.
Actually, sorry, guys. That slipped pretty good at the end.
Looks like he wants to make a play off the front stone sander. That seems to be a bit risky, don't you think? Hard to get the angle right to get two.
And before he went down, they said same shot.
Okay, same shot would be.
Unless they've changed it. I think that's what they're playing.
This one's a bit softer.
Same weight.
Get ready. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
Switch.
Whoa. Don't go through the hole. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Get the read.
Oh, well, they did it. Did it. Got the deuce. Did it the hard way, but that's a pair for New Zealand. Very nice shot.
Oh.
Great call, Dobby.
Great call, Dobby, say his teammates. Good read all around. Good weight control from Scott Becker, and after dropping the steal, let's have another look at this.
Good end.
Hood and Nielsen getting the line read. Just right, Warren Dobson reading it well. And that's a pair for the Kiwis. After dropping the steal, they come back with a deuce of their own. Here's another look. Just catching it thin, nudging the Korean stone off on an angle, and that's a pair for New Zealand. They're back in the lead. They lead at 4-3.
Go for it.
He looks good. He looks good now. Let him glide on. Yeah, beautiful weight, Dobby. Good calling, boys.
Live action at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018, our feature game, New Zealand versus Korea, back and forth. Really good game with playoff implications, and now New Zealand leading it 4-3. Really nice comeback deuce for the Kiwis there after dropping the steal.
넷. 넷.
아, 셋이면 돼.
넷. 셋, 넷. 셋, 셋.
셋, 셋. 라인 좋아.
셋. 거기. 라인 좋아.
Teams play the single round robin. 9 member associations are competing here in Gangneung. That means 8 games in the round robin. Tomorrow will be the final day of round robin play, and that's when we're going to know our top 4. And this is kind of the point in the tournament, Sander, where you start doing the math.
Yeah, some do, some don't. Some prefer not to look at it. Some are.
Whoa, little bend a bit. Little bend.
You always have that one teammate who's like, oh, if we beat them,
do this
we
and
have
they
a
do
better
that.
tree draw than them. We get head to head, and you're like, stop talking.
Okay, Dobby.
You don't want to hear it.
Bit long. Nice
Yeah,
shot.
8
just
wins,
gotta
no
win.
losses get you through, that's for sure. Exactly right. Just keep winning games. That's the formula. But in a 9-team event, it's looking like 5 wins and 3 losses will probably guarantee you 4th place.
야! 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 야!
Yeah!
6 and 2, absolutely in.
조금만 더 오자. 조금만
조금만 더, 조금만 더.
조금만 더, 조금만 더.
Little inside flop there. Very nice shot from Korea. Squarely behind that center guard. Very nice.
Giving it a wee tap behind the top of the house is good, yeah?
Here's another look at it. Watch the little inside roll. Right behind that center guard. Perfect. Anton Hood.
Whoa!
Whoa. Let it bend.
Go, T. Whoa!
Let it bend.
2, 4, coming down. Whoa!
Just waiting for this one to curl.
Whoa! Right
Now.
up.
Well, that's about
Okay.
throwing it cold. That'll save your sweepers. Just throw it to a spot. No brushing required. Nice shot from Anton Hood. The way the playoffs will work, top-ranked team will play the fourth-placed team in one semifinal. Second-ranked team will play the third-placed team in the other semifinal. The winners of those semis not only advance to the final, but they also qualify directly for the World Men's Curling Championship.
와 룸이야 룸.
열 내려놔.
열. 왜 충분해? 라인 봐요, 라인 봐.
라인. 잠깐 잠깐만. 라인 다 떼주고 있어.
T야.
내리지 마.
일단 라인 아니야.
T-라인.
라인 아니야. 웨이트만 봐. 웨이트만 봐.
Oh, very nice play from Korea here. Right behind that corner guard.
샷.
앞 세트 거 정리해야 되겠다.
It's in third shot position
See near
now.
that one?
Nah.
No.
Take.
Hack.
There's a look at it. Perfectly behind that corner guard. Nice shot.
Catch that one and roll in. It's fine.
Go.
Just hack. Yep. 84. Hack. Whoa. Yep.
Yes.
Whoa. Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, I think I just had
think
the
it-
faintest of touches their hands.
I think it
Great
did
shot.
actually make contact. Wow.
Jack Russell.
It certainly looked like it.
Yeah. If it didn't touch that guard going by, it certainly came super
Very,
close.
very nice shot, Ant.
Must have had with the finish. It would have probably
could-
overcurled in the nose.
Listen to the sweeping call.
Whoa. Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Ooh. Well, don't think it touched, but that's as close as you
I
can get
think it
without
did.
touching. I think it might have
Great shot.
actually. We'll go with your call, Sander.
But
Great result. Super shot.
나는 각이긴 한데 우리가 돌려서 치자는 것도 나쁘진 않아.
아니면 걸 타이트하면 이거 하고.
might be seeing something that's not there.
지금 정제샷이지.
Well, your eyes are younger than mine. I'm gonna go with yours. I think.
한10건 빨리 해.
열어도 괜찮을 것 같아.
그러니까 우리가 일본이라서 근데 굳이 이것도 나쁘지 않을 것 같아.
이렇게 원투 그냥
원투. 원투.
나쁘지 않아.
안 되면 저 이거 다 괜찮아.
오케이.
우리 것만 건들지 말자.
오케이.
With back,
백.
back.
Lots of baseball caps on the ice here this morning.
아 지금 많이.
Baseball is pretty popular in Korea.
Baseball's super popular in Korea. You're right.
Not so much in New Zealand, or
No, there's a new professional baseball team coming to New Zealand as well, so we might start seeing more baseball hats on the streets of Auckland and other places in the country.
네, 열둘.
아 클린.
열둘.
얍. 워.
정지야. 많이 와야 돼. 정지야 많이 와야 돼.
Trying to draw to that backstone just delivered by Anton Hood. Is it going to curl enough to get contact? Just grazes it and it's going to spill through the ring, so that's a break for the Kiwis.
괜찮아.
Challenge for the New Zealanders as the red-yellow combination is lined up to jam on the backstone. There we get to look at some of the
Don't mind even that.
chapeaus.
Go. Okay? Definitely
Actually,
not
with that
this.
little graze going by, it does change the
We're running
angle,
up
so
here.
Not quite as set up to jam as it was.
Great weight. There.
A bit of a setup shot for New Zealand here. Looking to more or less corner freeze their own yellow in the top 12.
Where?
Go forward! Forward!
Where?
Oh!
Whoa! Whoa! Yep! Whoa! Back of this one. Yep!
Freezing! Only! Six!
Yep!
Six tight!
Just grazes the front.
Yep. Okay.
Takes away the outturn side.
Get those calls right. There was 4 for a start.
Still possible to run in.
Yeah, 2 different run-ins now for the New Zealanders. Straight back or angle run on those guard stones. Time for a bit of a reset here for Lee Jung-jae. Always a good thing to do. If you start the delivery and it just doesn't feel right, just stop.
Yeah, sometimes just stone sticks to the ice or something. Fifth end, so some of the pebble around the hack's probably flattening out a little bit, and we'll see the ice makers put some new pebble around the hack at halftime.
Huge sweep here, trying to drag this into the rings to count, but it is going to clip that front stone. Just going to nudge it. Still usable for the New Zealanders to run in. Maybe not. Might have taken the has taken the angle run away.
If he'd been there, that would have been great.
Sorry, Scott. Can't have that.
Yep, front yellow guard. Can you hit them in the pocket?
Well,
Yellow back?
I like just trying to run that straight back.
Yeah.
Play normal. If you run it back and you take that, it's fine. I want to open that up now.
Well,
Just normal.
straight run back would be a sensational shot, but pretty tough for Korea to generate a 2 with all these stones up front.
Whoa.
Well, the draw is there for 2 right now.
That's true.
Whoa.
Stone has to curl. Stones flying everywhere.
But hey, look, we can still see that now.
That actually worked out not too badly for the New Zealanders. Didn't get the raise they were looking for, but they do have a much easier path now to the yellow-red tap. Coaches in the background as Korea lines this one up. Lee Jung-jae.
백!
This one's really moving. It's going to wreck. Yes. They do alertly sweep it into the rings for second shot. So decision time for New Zealand now as Lee makes his way down to the home end. That
Lose that one, but we could maybe drag that one past. So normal just at that edge and just try and see.
웨이트도 조금 생각보다 조금 약했던 거. 불러주는 웨이트보다 약해.
Not ideal. The other option is this.
Not ideal. Then they do tap tap.
Yeah, I know, but then
go.
at least we've got this one here.
Yep.
I like that. Actually.
Got that one?
Throw control.
Control. Just off the nose.
Yeah.
Take this one and see what happens after. Yeah.
going to be making a
We
play on
never
that
just
stone
get it.
beside the brush.
On that side of the and the other button.
You're on that front one on the angle.
Just trying to roll to the inside edge of the button.
Cool.
So that he can't
Try and bump for a control.
just run it back. He has to try and sort of do a big weight hit. But we want to save that yellow for the next one.
Good draw far here too, and behind the yellow guard.
No, I was thinking the same thing, Sander. Could roll away from that center line altogether and behind the cover of that yellow guard stone. Control weight, said Scott Becker.
been running a bit straight down this path, or this side of the ice, really. It's where Scott's straws didn't come up for him 2 ends ago.
Control.
Control.
Whoa. Whoa.
Not laying a brush to this one either.
Whoa, bend. Whoa. Oh.
It's going to hit him on the outside.
Handy there.
Control.
Control.
Whoa. 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 Whoa, bend. Whoa.
Becker imploring it to bend, but it was never going to curl.
Handy. 안 보이는데.
Hit and roll, Sander? Or is it just a
돌아서 이쪽으로 2번만 되자.
draw?
I wonder if they're drawing straight around the yellow guard. Be interesting to see if he actually curls up here. Again, I've seen some under curls down this way.
Kim Soo-hyuk.
T.
Train.
Whoa.
T, yo.
Whoa.
Yo. Yo. Train.
웨이트 봐.
티.
룸.
여덟.
There's the draw.
현준이가
아.
많이 와야 돼, 현준아.
아, 왜 괜찮은데.
How deep can they get it? It is not going to be second shot.
Yeah, it was kind of my worry.
Wow. Well, now great chance for Becker to hammer him and clear the lot. Let's catch you up on some of the other action going on here this morning. Japan, Kazakhstan. One Japanese stone in the back ring for Kazakhstan's Zhuzhbai to play against.
3. 이나가.
It's going back. It's going back.
Not laying a brush to this one. Look at it glide. Look at it glide. It's going deep. And it is going to go back through the back of the 12-foot, so it's actually a steal for Japan. Boy, that ice is fast. 6-1 for Japan.
They bounce.
Sitting 1 and 2.
Let's have a look at Chinese Taipei, Hong Kong.
Yep.
Jason Chang of Hong Kong with his last stone.
Yep.
Hard, guys, hard.
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 All the way. Easy. Clean. Just clean.
Good looking shot here from Chang.
2.
It's on the nose, and that's a pair. That one's tied up.
Get in, guys. Get in. Nice end.
Yeah.
Nice end, guys.
All the discussion in our feature game is around the angle of that
Just
red
gotta
stone in the
throw enough
4-foot.
weight. It's going to go back to their yellow, but we've got to get enough weight so that it spins off.
So is this a situation, Sander,
It's
where
also about where you hit it.
you
so
hit the
can't
top one
adjust it.
really
You've
hard
gotta
and you
hit it
just
in the right
hope,
spot.
you know it's going to jam at the back, but you hope that it springs enough?
A little bit.
Need to
I
make
just-
a
I
move.
wonder if the yellow, with the angle it's set up, it might even
The other
drag
call here,
the
Dobbies.
back red
Try and
slightly
draw one
left.
down beside it and go, how do you take your 2?
I think it's going.
Put one in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to think. No, they can't. Yeah, I like putting one right beside it.
Right there.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
calling an audible in the hack. Got down to the hack, didn't like the call.
Forces 1. What's he
That-
got if you do that?
Right there.
Sounds like Nielsen and Hood are pretty happy with this call.
Top 2.
The danger if you play the hit on the top stone, if you jam the back, you do open up a chance for Korea to maybe get 2. And the rationale here with the change of the call to this draw shot is if we get it in the right place,
See, wait. See, top
you
2.
make it really, really hard for Kim Soo-hyuk to get his pair.
See? See, all of T. See? See, over there.
Yellow.
Top 2.
Whoa!
See?
You ready? Yep.
Again, just running a bit straight down here.
We're up. We're up.
Harden.
Whoa. Take back.
Way too heavy.
Well,
Actually, just more of a weight issue there.
yeah. actually maybe made it easier for Korea to get their deuce now. They have backing. Looking for that stone to be about 3 feet forward of where it came to rest. Well, as we saw in that Kazakhstan-Japan game, the ice conditions are very quick. A lot of glide in the ice here.
It might be a tad quicker down that path as well, because it runs a bit straighter, so
It's true.
basically the path is a bit shorter for the stone to get there.
Yeah, a little less curve means a little less distance.
Yep. So the hit to be played here. Kim So-hyuk. Throw these pretty controlled.
Chance to score 2.
Don't think it's going to move too big.
Sweeping for a curl now. Has it curled enough? No, it's going to spill. So it is a force for the Kiwis after all. Just a single point for Korea. That straight spot burning the Koreans. Only a single point. We go to the halfway point of this game. We are dead even. It's New Zealand 4 and Korea 4. And we'll be back after a short break.
Yeah, I know, but it was an important last shot.
Yeah, I know.
레이트가 다운 아니었어? 그냥 컨트롤?
컨트롤 다운. 셌어?
그냥 컨트롤.
Final shot of the first end for New Zealand's Scott Becker. Has a hit to maybe score 3, but it's a little bit wide. It rolls out of the rings. It's only a pair for the New Zealanders. Last stone of the second end for Korea's Kim So-hyuk. He's facing 4 New Zealand stones. Makes the hit, the inside roll. Clutch shot there for Kim. Korea scores 1. New Zealand with the last rock in the fourth. Scott Becker with a delicate shot here. Chance to score 2. Great read. Just a great little touch shot there from Scott Becker, and it's a pair for the Kiwis. We'll catch you up with all the action here in session 12 at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Japan leading Kazakhstan 6-2. Australia with a 9-2 lead over Qatar. Our feature game is tied up at 4. And on sheet D, Hong Kong and Chinese Taipei also tied at 3.
이 샷에 대한 성실하게 던져놓고 믿어야 되는데 던져놓고 나서 보는 사람이나 수입하나 서로 간에 믿음이 부족하고요. 그거는 짜임새가 지금 부족하다는 거야. 말 그대로 지금 뭐가 안 맞는 거야. 그러려면 어떻게 해야 되겠어? 분위기도 안 살아. 이러다가 말린다. 어? 예. 지금 비슷하게 가고 있지만 이러다가 말리는 수가 있어. 지금 우리는 생각보다 안 되는데 쟤네들은 상대팀은 비슷하게 가고 있어. 원래 실력대로. 근데 쟤네들은 분위기가 괜찮아.
This is the 6. They scored 2. I'm too used to
Good thing that you get there on camera.
too used to mixed doubles with 8 ends. No, that's right. Myself included, we're all just coming on those draws a wee bit too deep. Literally 2 feet too deep, each one. So just be aware, they're still gliding, so when you guys are sweeping. Yeah. Hey? No, it's straightening up.
Pretty loose Kiwi squad there at the halfway break, and here are the stats. 2 stolen points by Korea. That keeps the score tied. But the New Zealanders with an edge and very consistent on both their draws and their hits. This one's all tied up. Could go either way. We're in Gangneung, the Olympic venue at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Live action. Teams competing to call themselves Pacific Asia champions and also claim a qualification place at the World Men's Curling Championships. A lot on the line here in Gangneung. Our feature game is all tied up at 4 at the halfway point. How's it all going to turn out? Korea's Kim Soo-hyuk is a bit disappointed not to be the Korean rep at the Winter Olympics and resetting his team's goals around the next Olympic cycle for Beijing. Korea's Donghyun Lee
다섯,
gets the second half of this game underway.
여섯.
10 ends to play. If the scores are tied after 10, we will play an extra end.
샷.
Nice center guard there from Lee.
It's fine.
Warren Dobson having a very nice game.
Red for line. Yep.
Six.
Have a look. Yep.
Six only. 6-4. 4-2.
Yep.
2.
This one just over curling, might just clip the front. Just grazes it, rolls into the rings.
Nice weight, Dobby.
컨트롤.
Warren Dobson, known to his teammates and most of the curling world as Dobby. Lee Donghyun, 80% for the game. Be looking to pick that up a little bit in the second half.
웨이 좋아.
야! 계속 와줘. 현준아 계속 와야 돼.
This one's moving. Gets a piece, but looks like it's going to spill. Yes, it does.
오케이.
Same weight.
That was nice. Top 4. Top 2. 6.
Whoa, this one looks more positive.
6.
Whoa.
6. 4. 4.
Yep. Whoa, where?
4.
Yep.
4. 2.
Whoa, whoa.
2.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Nice, Dobby, thank you. Set.
Beauty.
여덟.
야!
T. 여덟.
Hwang Hyun-jong
야! 야!
and down the out-turn side, trying to
야!
워.
sit on top of that New Zealand rock.
정지야 와야 돼.
헤이. 좋아.
와야 돼. 진짜 와야 돼. 계속 와줘. 계속 와줘.
Good-looking stone here.
계속 가야 돼. 계속 가야 돼.
Great
네,
shot.
샷.
Come down, 3 inside each. Anthony's fine. Don't mind if you catch that guard and just roll over either. Hold on.
Scott Becker having another thought as Anton Hood prepares
Back
to
here.
throw.
Catch the guard's fine too, just back house.
Changing the call a bit from a draw just to a small bump center.
Yeah, it's just about opening the scoring area a bit here. We have last stone.
Back line,
But like Scott Becker says, much
close.
better over curling, taking the guard here.
Simon. Back line up.
Need to move something.
Yep. Whoa. Oh. Yep.
Nice looking shot here from Hood.
Oh, I got that. Ah, great stone.
Actually more than back ring, but that works
Yeah.
out well.
Nice shot there from Anton Hood.
If you're going to throw it heavy, you might as well throw it a bit tight. Heavy and wide is never a good option.
No, that's true.
Sometimes, yeah, I think you maybe subconsciously you do that when you slide out, and if you're a bit tight, you end up giving it a bit more weight to compensate, and the other way as well.
Hwang Hyun Jong, 85% for the game, looking for a little inside roll.
Sweep.
Gets himself into shot rock position, but still available for the New Zealanders to make a play.
Hangs pretty straight out here now. Whoa! Stop only. Okay, we're going this way. Yep. Whoa. Yep side, go hard. Yep.
Sorry, Scott.
Good read there
It's all
from
good.
Becker.
It's fine.
Didn't get the
Good
inside
result.
roll. Made the switch to get a bit of separation between those stones. New Zealand lying 2. With that decision to get the outside roll makes a double almost impossible.
Yep.
Hey.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Lee Jung-jae
Yep.
struggling a bit today, but a chance to get something going. Well, so much for making a double almost impossible. Pushes it out to the wing.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
Let's have a live look at Hong Kong versus Chinese Taipei. Red stone belongs to Hong Kong. A
Ours is okay,
chance
but
for a
we've got
pair
another
here
little
for
roll.
Chinese Taipei's Randy Shen.
How much?
3/4.
Yeah, just that.
Has to navigate some stones at the back of the rings, though. Tough shot.
Whoa! Yeah! Back up!
Oh, nice shot there from Randy Shen. That's a pair for Chinese Taipei. That'll give them a 5-3 lead. Nice shot.
Back up! Yep!
Nice call, Nick.
Yep! Roll it!
Simon Nielsen makes
Great
another
start.
nice shot. New Zealand lying
Perfect,
2.
Simon.
A lot of very nice shots around that center guard that was thrown on the first stone of the end. Lee Jung-jae.
네, 컨트롤 살짝 약해.
Yes. Yes. 계속 와줘.
야!
헐. 와야 돼. 계속 와야 돼.
Chance that this one may spill out of the rings, and it does. Chance for the New Zealanders to use that guard.
좀 약했다. 4.
Which way do you prefer?
If I out turn.
Or do you want to go there? No, I like doing this.
Do that.
So do I.
Bring it this way. Tight, just touching's fine.
You could draw to the outside in this situation, Sander, but you're just leaving the center guard available for Korea to use. There's a bit of risk there. It's how you get a 3.
Question was, especially because the other one in the house already is back a tee, and you could put the other one back a tee the other side. Will Korea take that risk and come around the center? I'm not sure.
You'd be asking a big question of them, that's for sure. This one, though, is going to slide deep and maybe through. Oh, dear.
Still in play, but maybe not in the house.
Simon Nielsen. He'll be disappointed.
Scott Becker was talking about that at halftime, that the team's just been a little bit deep on a lot of draws. Wanted them to focus on it.
Yeah. Another one there, that could be costly for the New Zealanders. Kim Soo-hyuk.
웨이 좋아.
Yep, yep, yep! Whoa, yep, whoa, yep!
55% for the game. Bit of a struggle today for Soo-hyuk. Gets a little inside roll.
샷.
They're taking another look at that backstone, trying to decide if it's on the rings or not. Doesn't look like it. Might be the one that you might measure in desperation if it came to it, but New Zealand has to think that it's not on the rings as Kim Soo-hyuk makes his way down. Wanted a bit more of an inside roll. Conservative play here from New Zealand. Just going to make a play on that stone in the rings. 83% for Scott Becker. Above his tournament average. Having a nice game. Want this one to stick around, but it may spill. Yes, it does. And it jams. That's double pain for the Kiwis.
Sorry, boys.
Now all of a sudden, after a conservative play where you think you're maybe playing for a blank, all of a sudden
Getting everything a wee bit full of the brush.
your opponent now can duck one around the center guard, and now you're going to be life and death to score.
No, it's all right. It looked like it was swinging up. It was just...
It's hanging a bit straighter too, so it's not.
Nah, just full of the brush on that side.
예. 라인 4초 4 후반 4 라인을 좀 빨리 말해주세요. 제가 가야 되면.
Great chance here for Korea's Kim Soo-hyuk to really put the heat on the New Zealanders.
T 죽이지 말고. T
열! 스위치하지 마! 얍!
걸리면 너비야. 세.
오케이.
열. 많이 가.
Trying to hide behind that center guard. It's going to slide behind the tee line, though, and that gives the New Zealanders a bit of a lifeline. This ice so quick, and it's fooling both teams, Sander.
Face to the two. Just there. Whoa.
Yeah,
it stays pretty straight, Dobby.
It's been pretty consistent, and we're in N6 here. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's
Should have an
excuse.
idea. Absolutely right. No surprise at this point of the game.
I usually haven't heard too many curling players complain about the ice being too fast.
Yeah, it's a problem you like to have.
Yeah.
Scott Becker now needs a piece of the 4-foot circle. We'll take a look at the interval time.
Back two.
This ice so fast, we'd be looking for something in the 15-second range at the split to get to tee line. It's 14 and a bit. That's got enough weight. No problem there for the Kiwis. Into the back 4-foot without any brushing. Force, but in the even ends, a single point for New Zealand. That puts them in front after 6 ends of play. New Zealand 5, Korea 4.
So, can't afford that at this level. This one.
잘 막았다 이거.
빼고 난 뒤에 프리즈나 상대 돌 보이는 히트를 노래 확실하게 해야 될 것 같아.
they're going to go for the deuce because they know that they've got the least score.
지금 뭐 그럴 거 없어 지금 그랬어.
What handle you want?
One that spins.
Yep, bring him in.
6. 6
Hey,
4.
you looking? Go over curl a wee bit.
2. 2
Okay,
4.
let him do it himself. Say, whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, okay, yep, right back into the white. Yep.
New Zealand underway here
Nice
in
weight,
the
Gubby.
7th end of play. Our feature match at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018. Two teams with playoff aspirations in this game couldn't be closer. New Zealand holding a narrow 1-point lead. Korea with last rock here in the 7th of this 10-end game.
패스 좋아.
거기.
좀 타이트해.
Yeah, shot.
There we see the final. Japan rolling along. Yuta Matsumura and his teammates, 9-2 winners over Kazakhstan. They're looking strong and likely. Very much in the playoff frame here.
Back two. Yep. Trying to get the line right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Set. Shot, Dubby.
Two nice stones from New Zealand lead Warren Dobson. Lee Dong-hyung.
네, 컨트롤.
아 정재 아니야. 오케이. 앱. 앱.
Removes one of the New Zealand rocks. Game plan for the New Zealanders, Sander, very much attack for the force.
Yeah, I think so. You know, you've 4th and 7 here, then you had the last one advantage in the even ends, and just look at the scoreboard, start counting, you'll see there's 2 even ends left and 1 odd end left after this end, so they'd be in favour. They get to score twice against Korea's once, in theory anyway.
That stone of Hoods rolls over to the wing, and that might give Korea something to work with. Now they can draw around that top stone and sit on top of the New Zealand stone behind the tee line. So a chance for Korea now with last rock to go to the offense as Wang Hye-jung trying to
아 라인 좀 많아.
corner freeze the New Zealand stone in the back 8 foot.
아 정재 라인 많아.
Taking quite a bit of ice here, but we know it runs a bit straighter from outside in on this end of the sheet, so we'll see if it curls a bit more to the wing. Just coming off the center line. See if you get that break, but
Well by the top stone.
tad heavy.
Didn't move as I think as much as they expected. Its
No.
weight was fine.
It's taking about 6 feet of ice there. Sometimes stone struggles just a bit more to just cross that center line.
Whoa, positive bump. Whoa.
Nice looking stone here from Anton Hood.
Nice.
Very nice.
Leaving a wall behind the line from there.
I could have actually swept that one.
Yeah, could have lost the back stone quite happily, I think, in that situation. I agree.
And roll the shooter closer to the center line, keep it a bit more open. playing the hit though.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Could have easily have played the draw.
Whoa.
Yeah, draw or even a small
Yep.
bump,
Yes.
but it is the hit.
정지야 반대로 갈게. Yes. 계속 가, 계속 가.
It's going to be just on the inside, going to roll it across onto the center line.
I'm not sure if they're trying to keep the blank in mind here, but I would pick a game plan and go for it. Go hard for two or go hard for the blank. Don't pander in between.
Yeah. And with those stones out there on the corner and the corner guard, it's not like the blank is impossible, but it's going to be really tough. Going to need at least one complete miss from the New Zealanders to get that chance to get the blank. Here's a half shot.
Now there's a wall.
There's absolutely a wall to freeze to now.
Oh, my.
No doubt about the Korean call here. Sit right in front of those stones at the bottom left of our picture.
Yeah, just I might read a bit. And on the releases. Good.
Big chance here for Lee Jung-jae.
Adjusted the ice as well here now.
Yeah.
Kim So-yuk should finish.
연하나.
세면 안 돼.
아 많이 해비. 연하 둘.
얘들아 웨트 맞추기자. 말 많아.
맞아야 돼. 맞아야 돼. 맞아야 돼. 맞아야 돼.
Again, taking a long time to come off that center line. Here it comes now.
아더 죽어야 돼.
Just 2 feet heavy here. Bigger problem. Line was good.
Pushes the Kiwi stone to the back of that 12-foot, or the 6-foot as they call it. But with that bump, gives the New Zealanders the chance to hit it without jamming.
You never roll towards the center line this time. That'd be great for New Zealand.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Kill that back one.
Pretty good.
That's a nice shot. New Zealand lying 4.
You know, we don't want to take them. We seem to.
Tough to see a blank now. Not impossible, but tough for the Koreans.
얼마 맞아야 돼요?
반. 반보다 하나도 되고.
Gonna play the double here on the middle 2 rocks. Catch the second one a bit on the top of it. You might leave the red in between the 2 remaining yellows.
해.
Lots of weight here.
Yep.
Lee Jung-jae.
Yes.
Makes the hit. Kind of goes across the top and spills forward. That's a great result. Nice shot there by Lee Jung-jae. Fully buried.
That red out. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Korea with a chance to get their deuce. Very nice roll.
Yeah.
It's almost easier to hit the red one on the right-hand side here. So you could come across nose and then roll the shooter into the 8-foot.
Bit tighter. Yep.
Either way, I think it's going to run fairly straight down the spot.
Yeah, we've certainly seen them track pretty straight. Absolutely right, Senator.
Scott Becker has a pretty positive throw as well.
Come on.
Whoa. Whoa. Knock. Yep. Yep. Take the yellow off. Roll off.
Not going to get the race, so he just elects
Not
to
move.
clear the front.
No. Not move at all.
He's taking too much ice time and time
Put it
again.
on the
Yep.
center of the rock and just hammer it.
The way Scott Becker throws it,
Yeah,
just
always
take it.
a little inside out. Yep.
You can take 0 ice or even,
Yep.
even
Take
negative.
the inside edge of the rock. Let's catch you up on all the games. Japan 9-2 winners over Kazakhstan. Australia leading Qatar by a 9-3 score. New Zealand 5-4 up in this one. Chinese Taipei 5-3 over Hong Kong in the 8th end. Keep an eye on all of them for you.
하우스 안에 다 들어가면 2번은 어떻게 될 거야?
2번은 돼야 돼.
Great chance now for Korea to set up their deuce.
야 달려가야 돼. 이거 많이 안 갔어. 많이 맞아. 많이.
정진아 나와봐.
Calling for help here.
Yeah, thinks he's light again. All hands on deck.
동영 앞뒤로 와.
조금만 더.
Desperate to get this on the rings.
Getting tight to the guard as well.
Oh, they crashed the guard. Wow, huge mistake. Kim Soo-hyuk wondering what's going on this morning. Just not playing well, just has to be said. Great opportunity there to set up a pair.
And just forces one. Same shot.
I'm out.
Yep. 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 Gonna go. Hard. Hard.
Want to avoid the jam. Oh, they get away with it. Leave themselves lying one.
Hoping to set two there and get the force.
Yeah, that does
See, when we don't want to hit them, we do.
make it much easier for Korea to blank.
It's all good. Got rid of the red. Okay. Good in, boys.
Chance for Korea to hit the Kiwi stone, roll out of the rings themselves, and that will keep last rock advantage into the next end. If you're new to curling, call that a blank end.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
No problem there for Kim.
Shot.
Hits, rolls out. End is blank. No score on this seventh end. Korea will keep last rock advantage into the eighth after 7. It's New Zealand 5, Korea 4.
나이스.
다시 가자. 아, 소리 웨이팅.
여기서 2점? 2개만 가면 돼.
Top 2 to 6.
24.
6.
Lines a wee bit tight.
Just off.
Have a look.
Tight. Tight. 6. 4.
Dobby's go a wee bit further. Make sure he's here though.
Yeah.
Make sure he's here.
Cheers.
Yep, bring him back. Top two, yep, right there. Nice weight, Dobby.
First stone of the 8th end here. Live action from the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018. Men's competition. There's women's competition here as well, but it's the turn of the men this morning.
Set.
Korea versus New Zealand. One of those classic situations in curling.
타이틀.
Team with last rock in the 8th end, 1 point down. That's Korea.
정지야. 너무 사이드로 빠져.
Set the corner guard.
Step side, Dobby.
자, 셋.
Hans Frauenlob here with Sander Rolveg, and some big tactical choices for both teams now, really for the rest of the way.
Let Simon go close. We even try the line. Where? Make sure he's tight.
Tight.
Tight only.
Tight.
Tight only.
Tight. Tight only.
Yep, bring him back. Yep. Oh. Lead the wee bit. Yeah, nice rock there, Dobby.
Sets the corner guard, throwing down the gauntlet. And there's Warren Dobson, having a super game today, 98%. Lee Dong-hyung at 82.
Yeah, it's been coming up a bit short on the second stones in the game.
여덟.
그림아. 넷.
웨이트 봐, 웨이트 봐.
넷.
아 약하다 약해.
여덟.
여덟.
아 가야 돼.
어떻게 좋아? 계속 와줘. 아니 괜찮아. 계속 와줘.
아, 라인 좋아, 좀만 더.
And again, just biting the front ring, but once again, Sander, as if prescient, Sander Rolvag, 4 feet short.
Now, they were waiting for that to move over, but they didn't seem too panicked, the sweepers. So if a rock is a bit slower, then you might feel it's going to get there, but it just pulls up a bit earlier.
Anton Hood.
Tight. Line's tight.
Tight, six.
Okay, he's on the guard, Willow. Yep. Want to rearrange these guards? Yep. Okay, whoa, he's going across.
Plan B.
Sorry, Scott.
That's fine, mate.
Wasn't in the original flight plan, but it worked out pretty nicely for the New Zealanders. Scott Becker quite happy with it. They're all overlapped up front now. Impossible to run back onto the shot rock.
I think ideally you want to see maybe a double on the yellows here. Roll the shooter away, leave another corner guard. Might even tap the red in.
Oh, well, that's a very nice result for Korea. Both of the New Zealand stone pushes his own stone forward into the front of the 4-foot circle. Nice shot. On it immediately.
Pick up. Pick.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Go hard. No roll. Sit. Okay, great try. Nice throw. Shot.
여기까지.
New Zealanders would have been hoping that stayed behind the center guard,
롤밖에
but
안 될 것 같아.
Anton Hood does eliminate the Korean shot.
네. 컨트롤.
Comparison between the second players. Hwang Hyun-jun with an edge at the shooting department. Perfect on his draws.
정지야.
Gets a little inside roll. Gets a bit of an overlap on the Kiwi shot rock. Becker sizing it up.
Yep. It's fine.
Nice bit of input there from Warren Dobson for Simon Nielsen, who's struggled a bit with his draw weight, been a bit heavy. Heard Warren say, just front house, we'll sweep. Give him a positive thought before he throws it.
Where?
4.
Okay, whoa. Needs to bend. Get ready. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
6 only.
Whoa.
4.
Whoa. That looks deeper than that. Freezing. No, we don't want to freeze. Just offers up a big double. Okay. Let me know if it's deep.
아 진짜 두껍게 맞아야 돼. 5번들은 안 나갈 것 같아.
네.
2/3 of that shot
Control.
available.
컨트롤.
노벌로는 슈터가 빠질 것 같은데.
핵은요? 핵은 너무 약해.
아 핵은 너무 약할 것 같은데.
오케이.
컨트롤 딱 맞아요.
그것도 괜찮아요.
Now they're
이게
thinking
맞을
about
것
run
같아.
back.
여기 볼게.
네.
Looks like they're going to run the center guard back, Sander. And we see the comparisons.
He's not had the best game today. But you'll see his technique looks pretty flawless. He's always very steady coming out the hack.
야!
Lee
Of course,
Jung-jae.
there's much more to it.
예스! 예스! 계속 가죠.
It's close.
Okay, shot.
That's a pretty good result.
Yep.
Leaves New Zealand lying 1, but danger lights are flashing now for the Kiwis. 2 Korean stones sitting right in front of their shot rock. Korea does have the hammer here in 8. Lee Jung-jae.
You see the inside edge there, Dave?
Yeah.
Cool. Yep, I like
Just-
that.
Just see the inside edge.
Normal.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you'll be able to bounce the second red here.
I agree.
If you can get the inside rule, it'll be pretty good.
Anton Hood on the inside sweep, trying to hold the line. Oh, they just clipped the guard. So close.
Hard luck.
Big chance now for Korea.
Come on.
Yeah.
Easiest of run backs. Chance to lie 3.
Want to make sure they get some separation here, though. Roll the shooter to the right as we see it. They need the tough run back.
Yeah.
컨트롤 다운.
오케이.
얍. 예.
예스!
No, not going to get much separation, but Korea does lie 3.
그냥.
Awkward angles for New Zealand, though.
That's a shot.
Situation now for New Zealand where you're starting to think 2 is acceptable, Sander?
Yeah, I'd say so, but Scott Becker can make 2 doubles. They're out of trouble. I'd be tempted to play a double on the 2 deep reds, though, and keep the shooter closer, maybe almost underneath the top red. Might group,
Got to be off nose though, otherwise you don't make it. It'll jam and go behind the corner.
make it a little hard for Korea to get separation on the next one.
Also keep an eye live on Hong Kong Chinese Taipei as Becker prepares to shoot. 2 Chinese Taipei stones in the ring, so final stone here for Hong Kong's Jason Chang.
Lines okay.
Looks like they're down to me.
Becker makes the double
Looks like
takeout.
it's
Let's
down.
keep an eye
Looks like
now
it's
on
down to
this
me.
Hong Kong stone of Jason Chang.
Hard. This one.
Everybody on the sweep. They don't think it's heavy. Are they going to get it there? It looks like it's over curling as well. Are they going to get it by? No. It's a steal of at least 1. We'll confirm the score when the players have a look at it. But big steal there for Chinese Taipei as Jason Chang just short with his draw. 2-point steal for Chinese Taipei. That's a 7-3 lead and a huge steal for them. Randy Shen keeping his playoff hopes alive. Jason Chang will be disappointed with that draw.
For Scott Becker, playing the double A play, they were always rolling away, leaving a draw to the open wing for Korea, and a chance to make sure there's no double.
괜찮아, 괜찮아. T.
So Kim Soo-hyuk rack on a attempted
너무 뒤로 가지 마.
corner guard come around in the previous end to take himself out of a chance for a deuce. So well clear of the corner guard this time. No problem there. So the Kiwis indeed looking content to, well, not happy to give up a 2, but that'll be the situation. Both skips struggling a little bit, but Becker with a bit of an edge. But look at the draw percentage for Kim Soo-hyuk, 57.
Touch more. Yeah, it's just coming this inside out.
And in a close game like this, draw weight in that 10th and final end, Sander, could be critical.
Yeah, quite often you're having to draw the forfeit for the win.
Scott Becker. playing a takeout on this shot.
Throw down.
Whoa. Whoa. Guys.
Down.
Clean. Clean. Whoa. Clean.
Clean's a word that you like to hear. That usually means you've got some piece of the rock.
Whoa.
Must stick around though.
Go.
No problem. Nice shot there by Scott Becker.
Just go for the open hit there. Could have played a bit more rate, attempted the roll.
Or it could go and you got a bit of a roll.
Yeah.
Kim Soo-hyuk. Chance to, if he can hit and stick, to score 2 and put them back in the lead again. This game has gone back and forth.
Control down. Control down.
Yep.
Yep. Ball. Ball.
Yep.
Yep.
Good looking stone here from Kim Soo-hyuk.
Ball.
No problem there, right on the nose, and that is a pair for Korea. That will put them back in front. Super tight game, very entertaining. Could go either way after 8 ends of play. It is now Korea 6, New Zealand 5.
It's a good spot for him. Just saying, I don't mind going into the 10th down 1.
Yeah.
So we don't have to play this one all jumbled up going for 2. Keep it clean, keep playing the way we're playing. You know, we have an opportunity like that again. You guys, you two are blasting the front end. So just keep it up. Cool.
일어났거든?
Slide along with Lee Dong-hyung.
아,
아니 할게.
First stone of the 9th end of this 10-end game. Men's competition. You're enjoying live coverage of the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018 from the Gangneung Curling Center.
오케이, 샷.
This was the venue for curling at the Pyeongchang Winter Olympic Games in February.
Tight, man.
Warren Dobson.
Man.
Whoa. Tight.
Tight. Man only.
Tight. Tight.
Sander, we heard the New Zealanders talking strategy between ends, and Scott Becker, it sounded like wanted to play this end pretty conservatively. He said, I wouldn't mind being 1 down in the 10th with, which says to me he's thinking blank in the back of his mind to keep the hammer into the 10th end. They'll take their opportunity if they get it.
But they played a corner guard.
They did play a corner guard, which
Seems
is
a
not
little counteractive.
not what you'd be doing if you're going for a blank. It is tight to the rings, though.
where's the ball?
여섯.
I'm going to put my money on there not being a blank here.
2 guards up, so early returns, as the Americans would say, they're voting today, are promising as far as scoring in this end goes.
Korea looking for a second center guard here, actually.
This one might creep into the rings. Well,
6 foot measure.
if the stone is touching the rings, it is not in the free guard zone, which would mean New Zealand could hit it. It seems to be just off the ring, so we think it's in the free guard zone area, which means Warren Dobson couldn't hit it on this shot.
Not an easy stone to hit anyway.
No, it's behind a center guard.
Perfectly buried. That's a good setup.
Line's good now. Still tight. Simon, go close. Yep. Come on, boys. Drag it back. Drag it back. Drag it back. Hard. All the way. Hard.
Love to wrap around that center stone if they can.
You got it around. You got it around. You got it around.
Just
Dobby.
raising it. That one's on the rings.
Good sweep, boys.
Pretty good.
Yep, not a bad spot.
That's about the worst you'll get from Dobson today.
Yeah,
making everything.
Warren's had a great game.
Hey!
어.
웨이 좋아.
라인 많아. 정지야.
좀만 더.
정지야, 조금만 더.
Hey!
정지야, 조금만 더.
Sweeping to promote curl here.
워.
Get a little outside flop. That's a very nice shot.
Chat.
Creeps it onto the front 12. It's important that that's on the rings from the Korean perspective. They would love to force New Zealand to take a single point in this end. So Sander, I think your prediction on the Blanco meter just went north. That roll behind the corner guard makes somebody's going to score in this end. Anton Hood.
Dobby close. Roll.
Whoa!
Needs to come along.
Where?
It's coming now.
4-2. Whoa! That
Go
looks
back.
deeper than 2. Yeah.
Go back.
Coming down. 2.
Yes.
Yep, Dobby. Yep, Dobby. Yep, Dobby. Yep, Dobby. Screw that inside.
Yes.
Yep, Dobby.
Hard.
Want to
Yep,
sweep
Dobby.
it a little bit for a little extra finish.
Okay, Ant.
Hide just a corner.
Nice throw.
I think that might have been one of those situations, Sander, where they probably couldn't have heard it, sweeping it a little bit deeper, maybe get a little bit more cover. And then if they hit and roll, a little less dangerous, perhaps.
That's what they were going for in the end, just kind of started a bit too late. Thought it was a little deeper there.
Yep.
어.
Hwang Hyun-jung.
정지야. 정지. 동영아.
This one's going to be another little hit and outside flop. Danger signs now for New Zealand. Great shots. 2 great hit and rolls.
하라 그래.
What do you think about running back the corner guard now, Sander? Or open up the front?
Yeah, but I mean, you've got that was a perfect weight.
Oh, I'll start again then.
Come this way.
You just leave everything
like
intact
going
and
the
leave the
other.
guards
Come
as
this
they are. Let's watch this beautiful little hit and roll. Just perfect weight to just control that roll. Pops out maybe a quarter of a rock on the outside inside of this shot. So Anton Hood being asked by Scott Becker to draw around that center guard. The Kiwis rolling the dice here a bit.
I think
Keep it clean.
just
Dobby
wish
close.
to get there first, really.
Wee
Yeah.
bit. 4-2. Wee bit.
Could play
Yep.
the run on the wing there, but
Yep.
even if you make it, Korea probably just comes around the center guards.
Right.
Hard.
Have to get by this front stone. Are they by? Just.
Sit.
Now they're willing it to stop.
Okay.
Well,
Just had to
weren't
see
able
him
to
get
bury
around,
on the
mate. Great
in-turn,
throw.
but now they overburied on the out-turn, so ends up in the same spot,
Same
really.
spot. Watch how close this comes to the guard. We've been saying this all morning. Yeah, spark. Great shot. And it pops out the other side.
It's front of the tee line, and that red stone is, I believe, just nibbling the rings, and still you're able to over curl.
Yeah, in the space of 4 or 5 feet, stone curls an entire rock width,
8.
1.5 rock width.
웨트만 가져.
7.
약하면
Lee Jung-jae trying to make a play down to that stone just delivered by the Kiwis.
계속 와줘.
잠깐만 안 가.
와야 돼 이거.
라이스 좋아. 라이스 좋아. 좀만 더. 좀만 더.
They got it there.
끝까지.
Oh, great brushing by the Koreans. It's just going to bite the front forefoot.
괜찮아. 1점 줘도 되잖아.
Here's fine, Simon. Here's fine too. Right at the front of the house.
Simon Nielsen has to be a bit careful here. New Zealand's shot, but look at all those red stones clustered around the rings. Skip Scott Becker reminding him it's okay probably to be a couple feet short.
Six tight.
Your execution tolerance is light on this
Keep it
shot
going,
rather than
tight.
heavy.
Whoa, needs to bend. Yep.
Six tight. Tight.
Whoa.
6.
Whoa.
6 only.
Whoa. Dobby. 4. Yep. Keep the brushes down. Okay.
Real nice shot.
Scott
shot.
Becker, they keep the brushes down. Perfect shot there by Simon Nielsen. That's a fantastic spot.
That's a nice angle.
Yeah.
New Zealand can play that yellow onto the red and sit two buried. So
Yeah.
Korea's going to have to deal with that.
Yeah. That really reduces the danger for the Kiwis.
좀더 있게 하는 게 나을 것 같은데.
Also opens up the chance for a shot for 2 or 3.
오케이.
살짝 빠서 좋고.
Yeah, it's a protective shot, but
내용이
also a
진짜 아예
setup
안
shot.
보여요.
So
Exactly.
kind of 2 in 1.
Terrific spot. Great shot.
경재야 이쪽으로 보여도 돼.
1번.
바운스 좋아.
1번 있는 거. 2번.
Well, this is getting interesting, folks.
T까지 하면 될 것 같아.
9th end.
So Korea's going to play a similar shot on the other side. It's almost like they're playing 4 in a row. Just setting it up.
Yeah.
여덟,
Lee Jung-jae.
일곱, 여덟.
야, 약해.
야.
어디야?
와와와.
T.
와우.
T야, T야.
열. 예스! 동현아 계속 와. 와야 돼 계속 와.
Tiny bump.
Okay.
Leaves themselves sitting 3rd shot. New Zealand saying, better try to lock up our 1 here, so they're going to be asking for a guard. Protect against the red double bump that would potentially move their shot rock off the 4-foot.
Tight line, Dobby, keep it out
Simon
there.
Nielsen.
Right. Red.
Whoa, Dobby only.
Red on.
Whoa, it's going to do it all itself.
Stone over curling.
It's all about line. Sit out there. Get a wee rub off that one.
Maybe a little bounce off that center. They do. That helps a little bit, but it still does over curl.
Don't think he can throw the weight now.
A hopeful comment from Scott Becker. I don't think he could throw the weight for the double bump.
Figure out how I'm going to get in there for me.
Yeah, it looks pretty tough.
It does, actually. That small course correction, that little bump off that center guard, made the double bump for Korea much more difficult. Look at all the rocks in play.
Might have a timeout here.
Yeah, the team's coming down for a chat. They've got 9 minutes and 10 seconds left on their time clock, so plenty of time to discuss this. It's an important decision.
아니요, 이거.
이걸로 우리가
근데 이게
왜할 필요 없어.
아예 안 보여.
이거 안 보여.
안쪽으로
그러니까 돌려서 쳐야 돼. 돌려서 바운스 시키는 거야.
그래도 1번은 안 될 것 같아.
먼저 안 보여도
이쪽 어때?
다 돼?
There you see the time
아,
clock.
이쪽으로 나가버리잖아.
Thinking time, the clock runs while the teams are thinking about what shot to play.
괜히 때렸다.
괜히 때렸다 우리 스틸 나와.
Both teams, remember, have a timeout where they can stop the clock. Neither have used their timeout yet.
그냥 딱 여기 딱 여기.
여기도 상관없어.
오케이.
이쪽에 나.
오케이.
열도 바깥쪽.
They're going to take the play over to the intern side. You could just see the frustration on the face of Kim Soo-hyuk. He really wants to play that double bump red, yellow, but just not there.
카드.
So it will be the intern side. Where do you think he's looking to leave this one, Xander?
Just a rock high of center line, really. It's more about line than weight. So maybe aiming for about halfway.
하나, 둘.
동희가 현준이가.
오케이, 셋. 셋.
절대 하지 마.
셋, 넷. 셋. 넷.
아, 라인 괜찮아.
넷. 셋.
와우 더 오면 안 돼. 라인 괜찮아.
So is this really just a play to say to New Zealand, try and get 2?
샷.
Yep. There you go, halfway. Rock off the center line. Like
Takes
they
away,
wished.
takes away the yellow-red tap from the New Zealanders.
Is there still a port to draw through?
I think there might be. A bit dangerous. If you ever feathered that stone on the top of the 8-foot for New Zealand, it might be really dangerous. But if they could ever get one in there, that's how you get your 2 and maybe 3.
Give it a go.
Give it a go, says Scotty Becker. That's the Kiwi attitude. Give it a go.
I reckon. You don't have to go that wide.
You don't want to sit open though, but I don't think you can. If you get through the
That's
gap.
where you threw,
Yep.
or to get to the button.
So I reckon about there should be nice.
Needs to be just
Look, even if it
perfect,
just works
really.
off that one and rolls across.
Yeah.
We don't want to
Perfect.
change too many angles though.
Yeah. Perfect position for this one would be 3/4 in the front 4 foot, squarely behind that red stone just thrown by Kim.
Pull up tight. It doesn't matter as well.
Tight gap.
Yep.
Scott Becker.
I just don't want to really move that yellow because then he's got the run in with the red.
That's a point there by Scott. Probably
Leave it left.
rather reckon the red guard just played by Korea than your yellow corner might open something for Korea to use on those reds on the wing to run in.
Keep a
Would be
close
tough, but possible.
We'll keep a close eye on that as the stones
25.
approach the guards.
T.
Oh, well.
You close, Simon.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
T-line.
Yep.
T-line.
Yep.
Top 2. Wait only. Wait only.
Looks close.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, they're safely through the. Oh, they just feather. This is actually going to work out really well.
Set.
Wow.
New Zealand lies 2. They get a little bit of a break. They got a little feather on that outside corner guard, redirected, and leaves them lying 2.
That's a good shot.
That is second shot.
I think
Let's watch the replay. Watch the stone just clip this yellow guard and watch it change the direction. There.
it's a bit heavy. Needed that tick and bump on their own shot stone to sit.
So New Zealand lying 2. And look at that. Perfectly buried.
If Kim So-hyuk wanted to play that double tap earlier, he definitely would have wanted to play it now with some weight, but it's not there. Might have to run the
red straight
guard.
back?
Straight back, yeah. Just pick it. Just try and
차라리 아예
pick one
안쪽으로
yellow.
때려버리지 이거를. 이쪽 스킨 먹게.
그게 나을 것 같아.
진짜 얇게 맞아야 돼 여기 이렇게. 그래가지고 얘 이렇게 와야 돼. 근데 그것도 2번이 되면.
Timeout being called by Korea.
쓰고 다시 하나 버리자. 아니면 그냥 지금 막아서 2점만 줘야 돼.
여기 못 들어오겠지?
그냥 힘들어 보여.
힘들 것 같아, 이거.
얘가 미는 것은.
만약 이거 해가지고 잘못돼버리면 3점까지.
조금만 안 열리면 되긴 하는데.
이거는 좀 많이 힘들어 보였나?
이거는 이것도 안쪽으로 보이는 거야.
핵으로 돌려쳐서
얘가 안 넣을 것 같아.
They play the run and miss. Do they open it up for a draw for 3?
핵으로 맞아 주려면.
That's the danger, I think, Sander.
다 100개 오면 돼.
넉넉히 와도 되겠다. 되게.
이거?
It's a pretty low percentage to go for it from anything I'm looking at. And if it doesn't work out, you drop 3, you'd feel really bad.
못하라는 부분 없어 근데.
Not lots of room to get in there for 3, but
Well, if you ever opened up that red, he tried the red run back, as we were talking about. If he's offline with that, then he opens up the yellow-red tap,
그냥 2점만 주자.
and New Zealand could get 3 that way.
이건 3점까지 나오니까 두 개는.
There's Coach Lee Jae-ho.
핵으로.
이게 안쪽으로 보여. 근데.
그러니까 아예 다 숨었어요. 돌아와요.
네, 충분해 보여.
들어오기만 하면 오는데.
이쪽이 얼마큼 빠졌죠.
오히려 저거 2번 걸릴 수도 있어.
핵으로 조금 있어.
저것만 돌아 들어오면
얘만 밀고 쓰면 될 거.
1점만 주면 될 것 같아.
이렇게만 붙어도 괜찮아.
쟤만 딴다.
그리고 슈터는 최대한 빼놔. 안에서 맞지 않게 최대한 속도를 빼고 밀어넣어서 이게 1점만 주면
Well.
되니까. 만약에 약해서 안 됐으더라도 3점은 안 되는데.
They've been wanting to try that red bump for about 4 rocks, just have never thought that it's there. Sounds like after some discussion, they're thinking if we just play down enough weight just to skinny that yellow guard at the top of our picture, it should curl enough to go red bump, then you at least cut New Zealand down to 1.
yeah, just play this to get in for second shot.
안으로 완전 숨었어.
From here, it looks slightly overburied.
백이 나을 것 같아.
백으로 가야 될 것 같아.
Has seemed to be running a bit straight down here.
팔 약해.
샷이 안 될 것 같아. 핵은.
내가 팔 약하다고 백으로.
But I think if you feather
칠해야 돼 백.
that yellow long guard,
핵 다운까지.
would maybe Backline weight.
저기도는 열려도 상관없어. 최다 째게 가야 돼.
It's there.
Shot's definitely there.
조금 루즈하게 던지.
Don't think they'll get shot out of this, but they can cut New Zealand down to 1, which is really the objective for Korea at this point.
Good thing for Kim. He's got a nice soft release. Should get a nice natural bend around the guard.
Waiting for it to move. Well by the guard. Has he got contact at all? No, it goes right by everything.
You can see he was closer to the red than the guard. So if he's closer to the guard, he makes contact. But maybe played a bit too much weight as well.
So is there enough room through that port that Scott Becker just threw to squeeze one more in there?
I like the same way you came before.
Yeah, I think we're just throwing that shot. So.
Yeah, you're basically trying to
Weight off it.
freeze the inside of the,
Well, you don't
the
actually
yellow
need to,
that you placed
weight
there.
Just got it in there nicely.
Freeze his own stone on the inside.
But
That's
that
for
was
3.
back 2. You're throwing back 2.
I think you threw about 25 throw before.
Last thing you want to do is overthrow it.
Yes.
Nose it
Yes.
through the
This
forfeit.
one has
Yes.
to hook up because I don't think you can get third shot by being on the nose of ours. You have to.
And there we see left side of the picture, right between the red rock and the yellow rock.
How much did that miss that red by? Quite a bit, huh? Yeah.
That's the path that he's trying to come
Just take in
through.
a fraction, Dobby. Yep.
Red stone, the yellow stone, left side of the picture. He's going to try to draw between those two stones on the in-turn. Remember, he rubbed that yellow stone on the outside on his previous attempt.
Port's bigger now.
Port's bigger by at least
Quarter
half
of
a
an inch.
centimeter. Yeah.
He's
Here we
taking-
go.
He's taking a bit less ice though. Not sure if that's a good idea because he's needing to throw less weight, so it's going to make him move and come closer to that red if he throws the same.
This one's got a long way to move.
But a little wide
Long way
here.
to move.
Waiting for it.
If the weight's there, it might move over in time.
They're waiting for it. They're waiting for it. Is he going to graze it again?
That would be something. Oh,
Well, it's 2 for sure.
it's close.
2.
Measure?
Yeah, I think so.
That was very close to getting another redirect though.
Yeah.
Almost looked like a touch,
They
but I
are
don't
going to
think
measure.
so.
2 points for sure. We'll wait for the official to confirm the third point. Does look like it's Korea's. Watch how close. He almost got that outside graze again. Just maybe 2 feet too much weight for the shot here. Just went by it.
I think it touched again.
Might have even touched it again. You're
think
right,
so.
Sander. Might have done it again. Really needed to have cold, perfect weight. We'll get a great look at it here. Yeah, I don't think it did, but needed just that fraction less weight to get that little bit of extra curl. That would have been a 3. It's a deuce for sure for New Zealand. That's pretty close. It's certainly worth a measure from a New Zealand perspective. 2 points in the bank already for the Kiwis. The red stone's the Korean stone. The yellow stone is the New Zealand stone. So New Zealand will have the lead in the 10th end. What we don't know yet is whether it's a 1-point lead or a 2-point lead. That was a very exciting 9th end. That had a bit of everything. So this is where we get to play along at home. Watch the needle. Let's watch how far it goes on this red rock. 1, 2, just a 2. Now the yellow rock. Doesn't register at all, so it is only 2 points for the Kiwis, but a big deuce for them. That does give them the lead after 9 ends of play, 10th and maybe final end to come. New Zealand now on top by a score of 7-6.
Line's real good. Top tip. The ice will flatten out a wee bit now, guys.
10th end underway. Feature game at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018, New Zealand versus Korea. New Zealand leads it by 1. Korea's got last rock. And there's a center guard up on the first stone of the end.
Yeah, wanted that one in the house, actually. He's got backer.
Yeah, it's come up just a bit short.
Saying the pebble might flatten out a bit, just along the center line, especially where the players are sliding. It's a lot of tension there. So if you hit that path a bit early, it might slow down a bit on you.
Remember, it's the 5 rock free guard zone. That means you cannot remove an opponent's stone from play until the 5th stone at the end. So New Zealand committing to the guard. Remember, New Zealand could hit their own stone if they wanted to. If they really didn't like that center guard, they could have hit their own stone in that situation, Sander, but they're electing to go around.
I think if you do that, though, you're just giving away 2.
You're inviting your opponent to just use that corner guard and stack them up, build their 2 that way.
Just Anton. Hard, Anton. Spin it around, mate. Yep, go side.
I think the plan for Scott Becker was to come into the house first and then throw the center. It's just a bit of an easier way to do it.
Yes.
Good, sweet.
This is really the first bad end of Dobby.
Yeah, just a little bit light with that attempted come around. I think Scott Becker's right. Doesn't look like that slide path is flattening out a little less glide on the stones up the middle. We'll keep an eye on that later in the end. If there's some crucial draws up the middle, as there almost certainly will be. Lee Dong-hyung.
Looking for the hit and roll off of this stone top 12, maybe leave a corner guard.
Pretty much on the nose.
Pretty good.
It is very good. Remember, that's a free guard.
Try and tap that back.
Yeah, it's tough to draw around them now.
It is. Both directions, outside in. Those rocks blocking the path on either turn. So Becker is going to elect to play a tap on his own stone. Bump the yellow forward into the rings. Anton Hood.
Tough shot, actually.
Yeah, very tough shot.
Bit tight. Keep it out. Yep, bit tight. Weight's good. Back house, back line. Yes. Okay, yep.
Trying to hold the line to get it straight back. It's over curling. Now they can push it behind the corner guard instead. Didn't really try to sweep that stone behind the corner.
Nice wee spot.
Anton Hood. There you can see that New Zealand shot. Just a corner hidden behind that corner guard.
It's not too bad there. It takes away the draw around the corner for Korea. So knowing that, they're going to come after it, try and open that up.
Good looking shot. Just noses. See that the New Zealanders would love to get the roll behind the center, take the action away from that corner guard.
Catch your guards fine.
Anton Hood.
Whoa, heck. Clean. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard.
Looking for the roll.
Yep, and then hard for the roll. Hard for the roll. Hard. Yes. Shot.
Pretty good shot there from Anton Hood. Would have loved another rock's width of roll. Threw it well. Hard to get a big roll when you're throwing that hack weight because you lose so much momentum when you're hitting on an angle. Hard to roll it a long distance.
Yep. 와야 돼.
Hwang Hyun-jung.
정지야 진짜 와야 돼. Yes! Okay, whoa.
Korea would love the underneath roll, getting behind those guards. Good looking shot here. They do get that inside roll right behind cover. Nice shot. Let's have another look at this lovely little inside roll. Perfect.
That's good, because even if New Zealand now makes a double, they're essentially opening up the center for Korea and allowing them to play maybe around the corner with no risk.
Hard! Okay.
Doesn't get the double. Stuffs it. Leaves the Korean
There's my
stone
bad side.
sitting in the front of the 8-foot.
Be on it the whole way.
Korea now going to use the corner guard.
여섯도 괜찮아. 웨이트만.
Big shot here. Shot that could set up the 2-point end, which would
괜찮아, 여섯.
mean victory for Korea.
들어와야 돼. Yes.
Are they going to get it to the rings? Oh, yes, they do. That could be crucial. They just get a piece. Great brushing.
Comes at this one. Bumper. Yep. Up down. Yep, hard. Oh. Yeah.
Hit on the nose.
Whoa, whoa.
Well, doing it a different way.
I don't know what to do it. Good luck. That's heck, mate. Hard luck.
Well, that changes the complexion.
Should have seen control.
Great chance now for Korea to build. 2 guards up. New Zealand might be able to use them, but things not looking very good for the Kiwis at this point of the end.
That's going to be the save here for them. Might just have to switch the play here and just ignore all the reds coming around the guards.
Yep.
Getting a bit too late for tidying up.
Yeah, now you have to mentally switch from force to steal. Timeout being called by New Zealand.
Do you like the hit and roll?
You hit and flop there.
Yeah.
That sort of shot, they can just draw for 2.
Yeah,
do that then.
But if you knows that.
If we do that, see what they do, then you come in.
We have to get a stone in there, right?
Yeah.
You have to get a stone in there to make a play.
Because then he can do that.
No,
Not us there. We sit there.
I can't get enough of the inside to get a roll across to that one either.
Well,
Even roll behind those guards, though.
No, it's got to be soft bump.
Yeah.
Peter
Do you
Becker.
like that call? But it has to be. It doesn't have to be shot, but it would be great if it is. It's just it needs to be in behind. The key is getting it in behind these guards.
You thinking hack or bump? Hack.
Hack.
yeah,
Just positive hack.
Yeah.
catch it.
Play it about there.
The half.
Just let it curl up.
Nobody's
Maybe
mentioned the
play it
draw.
tight, Sweep it early.
Hit off just off those rings.
You like that call? I mean, what else have you got? You got.
Now they're looking at options.
So you can't. It's too open. They're out cover. I mean, he's going to try and either run one of those or try and come down and freeze on it.
Yeah.
He'll probably just open that up, but then there with
Room
hat.
about there.
Yep.
A bit disappointing that they didn't discuss the draw option, Sandra. They have talked about Bump inside roll, bump inside roll.
I think Scott Becker kept saying it has to be in behind the guard.
If it's a bit
No, it
tight
has
and
to
you're
be
just
in
tapping
behind.
one of those other
And what's
ones
the easiest
up,
way
well,
to
then
get
go with
there?
Drawing.
Definitely a draw.
Right.
And because there's 3 stones in the rings, even if you remove one, there's enough counters in there for Korea to win the game. So removing this is not really going to help them all that much. Much easier to play the draw, and there's a really good chance you're going to have to play that draw on your next one, anyone, so you get 2 chances at it.
The other option's just a straight draw, Dobby.
There we go.
Now we're looking at the draw.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can they play in off their own?
No, probably slash. Yeah, okay, play this first.
No. So close.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Slash are worried about here.
No, I agree.
Slash the yellows, they're still going to be left to guard. You come around, Korea might have played the double on the yellows to open it up, but then you get to play another draw or hit to sit 2.
It is the hack weight hit.
You can still make this though. You need the inside rule.
Yep, they need protection. Not getting it.
It's hanging out there, which a lot of shots has been down this path.
So New Zealand is second shot, but remember, Korea, they don't need 3. 2 will win the game for them.
Now I think Korea might take away the draw for New Zealand. They might not get a second chance.
Yep. That was probably the opportunity to get into that 4-foot circle for the Kiwis, and now Kim Soo-hyuk is going to try to take that path away.
Kim Soo-hyuk knows he only needs 2 to win the game here.
And that would leave New Zealand
더안 와도 돼.
difficult raise takeout probably for their final option, depending where this, how deep it goes. But find out in about a minute.
Yeah, it can't be too deep here.
No.
Maximum fully forfeit. Come all the way into the forfeit, New Zealand can freeze. They'll still have the button for 2 though.
Kim Soo-hyuk has struggled a bit with his draw weight throughout the game. Very important draw for them now.
Behind the T line would not be great, but the sweepers are on it, so should be close.
It's going to be a bit higher than I think they wanted, but it's a pretty good looking shot. They are second shot.
That's going to leave a draw for New Zealand.
Let's catch you up on the other action here. Chinese Taipei with a big win. Randy Shen and company 8-3 winners over Jason Chang of Hong Kong.
Good luck rest of the way. Thanks. Thanks, Derek. Good luck rest of the way.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Good job, Derek.
It seemed like the Koreans, the sweepers wanted to go for it. The vice skip was more concerned about the line there. And then, in truth, if it was going to be that high, it'd be better if it was fully open for Korea to use.
It's got to hang out there, and then you boys are going to have to bend it around real hard.
Almost helping New Zealand if they now can wrap around it. Be very hard to get to.
Wait there. Whoa. Top 4? Whoa. No, T.
New Zealand must be at least second shot after this.
T back 2.
Get ready.
T.
Get ready.
We're going to have to go soon.
Yep.
We're going to have to go.
Have they left it too long?
Hard. Just one. Simon only. Big
Trying to drag it deep. Good looking shot. Super shot by Scott Becker.
Wow. That is absolutely perfect.
Terrific shot.
It was hanging out there for so long.
They had to wait, and I was worried that they waited too long, but they dragged it beautifully into the 4-foot circle, perfectly behind cover.
That's perfect timing there. Just waited as long as they could. The sweepers wanted to go.
Just one. Simon only.
Maximizing the curl. He's just diving in there. Keeps it alive. And it's just sunk in there.
Terrific shot. One more look. Watch how much this finishes.
Pistol, mate.
Still a shot for Korea, though.
Yep, there is a double. It's either a double straight back or a angle double on the 2 Kiwi stones, and that seems to be the play. inside double, yellow onto yellow for the win.
Probably the easiest one. You only need to hit one stone right, not two.
Here we go.
Well, he made an incredible shot yesterday.
Yep.
That's Japan.
Caught it too thin. New Zealand steals the win.
Wow.
What a game. Terrific final shot draw by Scott Becker. Attempted double takeout for Kim Soo-hyuk. A bit narrow, scoots by, and New Zealand steals the victory. What a game.
I think that was a bit of the key. Kim Soo-hyuk not having a great day today, but Scott Becker delivered some key shots all the way through.
Fantastic win for the Kiwis. 8-6 victors here in this game at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. New Zealand Scott Becker, final shot of the sixth end, forcing a single point, has to draw to make it, puts it into the back of the forefoot, no problem there for the Kiwi skip. In the eighth end, final stone for Korea's Kim Soo-hyuk. Relatively straightforward nose hit for a pair. That puts Korea in front.
You're 25 in the last.
Ninth end, a forest of granite. Tough shot here for Scott Becker. New Zealand lying two. Can they get a third point into the forefoot? But after a measure, it's only a pair for the Kiwis in the 10th end. Korea with last rock, so a crucial final stone here for New Zealand Scott Becker to try and set up a steal. Makes it perfect. wraps it around the stone in the top 8 foot. So the final stone of the 10th end here for Korea's Kim Soo-hyuk trying an inside double takeout. Catches it thin, and New Zealand steals the win, 8-6. Let's look at all the action across session 12 in the men's event. Japan 9-2 winners over Kazakhstan. Australia 13-3 winners over Qatar. New Zealand with a thrilling 8-6 win over Korea, and Chinese Taipei 8-3 winners over Hong Kong. This is what it means for the standings. China have qualified. Their wins 6-0. Japan 5-1. Now they're joined by New Zealand also on 5-1. Korea falls to 4-3. Chinese Taipei, Australia, Hong Kong, Kazakhstan, and Qatar round out the standings. Top 4 will qualify for the playoffs.
Pretty intense game out there, Scott. Take us through it.
Yeah, no, it went back and forth. They played some great shots. We played some great shots. Our young guys really stepped up. They were really keen to play this game. They know that we've got another big one tonight, so I think that was, they really raised the bar. It was good.
Kim Soo-hyuk struggled a bit out there. You seem to make some really good shots. Do you think that was key?
Definitely is. Obviously, if the skip's not quite performing, then it also helps. I also made a couple of really rough ones, which kind of let them back in it. Like second shot in the first end, should have had a 3. But then he let us back with a hit and roll out. I can't remember what end it was, but yeah, no, it was a kind of toed and froed. So yeah, it was good.
Pretty clutch shot by the team on the last one there.
Yeah, that always helps. We knew the ice. We were confident. I felt really super confident in my weight. The big thing was just not jumping it early, over sweeping it and leaving them an edge that they could just pick it out, because they weren't, I was obviously very surprised on his last shot, but it was still a tough one. But if you leave them a couple inches on the other side, they're just going to take the stone.
Well, thank you very much, Scott.
No
and
worries.
Congrats.
Thanks again.
A very happy Scott Becker. Team New Zealand moved to 5-1, squarely in the frame of the playoffs here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. For Sander Rolvag, I'm Hans Frauenlob. Thank you very much. We'll see you again from Gangneung.